on this Tuesday, October 13th. Game 2 of the NLCS. The Atlanta Braves, the LA Dodgers. Braves are up in the series. No Kershaw tonight, and the report is, you heard from Tom and we heard from Dave Roberts, no Kershaw tomorrow. They hope for game 4. Kershaw's pitched so well this postseason, 2-0. 19 strikeouts over those 2 starts, but can't go with the back spasms. All right, here is the Atlanta Braves starting lineup for game 2. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead it off. Freddie Freeman went deep last night. Marcell Ozuna with an RBI last night in the 9th inning. Travis d'Arnaud, Ozzie Albies is the second baseman. He went deep. Dansby Swanson is the shortstop. Austin Riley broke the tie in the 9th. Nick Markakis and Christian Pache batting in the number 9 spot and starting in center field. And here is Tony Gonsolin, who's got good numbers and great stuff.
Yeah, numbers are just that. It's a formula for execution. The only number that is bad is his first pitch. When they put it in play, it's 450. Other than that, he is as tough as it gets when he gets a strike and 2 strikes on the hitter.
Here is Ronald Acuna, and he gets hit, I believe, on the hand.
Hit the bat.
I guess it hit the bat for a foul ball. That was close. Acuna is shaking out the hands, and a little message for Acuna, who likes to jump on that first pitch.
Yeah, he let go of the bat and it hit the handle. Rather unfortunate for Acuna and fortunate for Gonsolin, but at some point in this series they were going to have to pound him in to get him out of the way. When Ronald Acuna can hit a ball to right field like a left-handed pull hitter, you've got to own the inside part of the plate, and that was really just the game plan selection right there.
You look at Gonsolin looking in as Acuna gets looked at. Clearly hit the knob of the bat. I'm sure the hands are ringing, buzzing just a little bit, but and the home plate umpire, Will Little, was all over it.
The one thing about tonight's game is either pitcher doesn't have much success or much experience against the rest of the team. Of course, Ian Anderson's never faced the Dodgers, and only a handful of guys on this roster for the Braves have faced Tony Gonsolin, not with a lot of success either.
Acuna was trying to plead his way on base to no avail, and it's a strike, by the way. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gonsolin. Hot. 0-2.
Well, his signature pitch against the left-handers is a split finger changeup. Against the right-handers, it's a slider. Over 50% swings on his slider, highest in all of baseball against Tony Gonsolin.
Acuna strikes out. That was a clinic. And Acuna is yelling out, maybe at no one in particular, but certainly in the direction of Gonsolin. Let's give you the defense for the Dodgers, sponsored by AT&T Business. In the outfield, Pollock in left, Bellinger in center, Benson right. On the infield, Turner Seager on the left side, Taylor at second, Muncy at first, Will Smith the catcher, and Gonsolin already has a strikeout. That one rides up and away to Freddie Freeman, who went deep in the first inning last night off Walker Buehler.
And that was that split finger. That got away. If he's going to get Freddie Freeman out with his fastball, it's going to be away and up today.
Hot. In for strike 1. Infield playing Freeman to pull. He goes the other way. That ball slices foul for strike 2.
And that's the pitch. Anything else that you bring into Freddie Freeman in the zone, he's going to do damage. And you've got to be able to use the quadrants. You got to pitch him up and away, and then you got to have that split finger working away from there. Look for the slider also down and in against Freddie with 2 strikes. 2 ways you can get him out. Other than that, good luck.
How about back-to-back strikeouts for Gonsolin?
Well, here's what I think the keys of the game are going to be if you're the Braves. Keep the pressure on. You get men on base, you're going to create a lot of stress for the Dodgers. They did it last night. They broke open in the 9th and then get that early lead. That seems simple. Well, they've never lost in the postseason when they've gotten a lead. For the Dodgers, The leadoff hitters have to do a better job getting on base. The 1-for-9 was a home run, and then change it up. You're going against the best changeup of the right-hander in a long time. You're going to have to stay disciplined in your zone.
Okay, Jumpy. Those were our keys to the game presented by Ford.
I'll tell you something. I thought maybe a little rust of 17 days might kick in for this young man. It looks like he pitched 5 days ago.
A swinging strike. Now a taken strike, and Gonsolin, and this wasn't a total surprise to Gonsolin.
No.
This was a possibility, so it didn't just drop out of the sky with Kershaw not being able to go. They had told Tony to be ready a couple of days ago, but he could strike out the side here in the first inning.
Listen, there's a reason why they had the best record in baseball, and it just didn't come from their offense. Their pitching staff was outstanding this year.
That is up the middle. Diving stop. Taylor gets up, throws. He got him to end the inning. Taylor, Mr. Versatile. What a play to his right. Diving, got up, and then Muncy on the back end digs it. And it's a 1-2-3 start for the rookie right-hander Tony Gonsolin. The wry smile from Ozuna. No score after a half in game 2. Got a 1-2-3 first. Braves hope for the same from their rookie Ian Anderson facing this lineup. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, the top 3. Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger in the middle. A.J. Pollock, Jock Peterson gets the start at DH tonight. And Chris Taylor just made a play to his right to end the top of the first. And here is 6'3", 170-pound, 22-year-old Ian Anderson, who has been sensational.
He has. He'll get the curveball over about 35% of the time on first pitch for strikes if he's got it working. The fastball command can be a little bit of an issue. It hasn't lately. He's thrown strikes, and watch this deadly changeup that he can throw straight over the top.
That's his pitch. That's 97 that zips in there for a strike to Mookie Betts, who was 0 for 4 in the opener last night. 7 hits this postseason. His first with the Dodgers in the hole in a blink, 0-2.
The best pitch for 2 strikes ends up being the high fastball for Ian Anderson on a lot of hitters, but now that he's established the low pitch, he can create the illusion with that changeup. With swing and miss, put it in play type changeup. Great arm speed, straight over the top. You don't see too many guys pitching straight over the top anymore.
Here's one down the line. It is a foul ball. I can see why Baseball America back in 2016 said that this young man, and he's still young, just 22, had the best delivery by a prep pitcher.
Yeah, it's definitely fastball eccentric. Like that pitch right there, he faces the right teams with the style of hitting there is today. He's going to get a lot of swing and misses. They're going to try to hit that pitch. It's a straight fastball, but then he throws a 4-seam changeup, which is off of his fastball, looks exactly the same.
Count is gone full, 3-2.
But in this delivery, every once in a while, he gets disconnected with the fastball. His front shoulder is huge. It's like a sight of a gun. It has to stay and not lift up too high.
Foul. Still 3-2 on Betts.
So in other words, if it stays quiet, the hitter is seeing an arm come right over the top of his head, and he can't pick up that changeup spin. See that shoulder, and then he comes straight over the top.
Another 3-2 and another foul ball. So Betts trying to get on in front of Seager and Turner. So far, the Braves, who have yet to lose this postseason, have scored first in all 6 games they've played this postseason. That makes Brian Snitker smile under that mask. Another 3-2 pitch from Ian Anderson. A leadoff walk and a good at bat by Mookie Betts. Tonight's starting defense for the Braves is sponsored by AT&T Business. Nick Markakis is in left. You heard about Pache in center, and Acuna is in right. Around the infield, Austin Riley, a hero last night, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, and Freddie Freeman. Catcher is Travis d'Arnaud, and Anderson on the mound.
Now, big Corey Seager, he's pretty good at staying back and hitting the changeup. Keeps his hands back. He's strong enough to hit any pitch, really.
That gets away. Caught the umpire down to second as Betts.
You know, in other sports, you always try to figure out, why does this team have good success against another team? They're matchups that look favorable on paper. And what Ian Anderson's been able to do this year has been incredible. But going against this team, which will be the first time he faces it, it's a tougher matchup for him because the style of hitting that the Dodgers have. They're not a free swinging team. So Kyle's going to have to be really good with his fastball, pound it with strikes, and then his secondary stuff doesn't have to be as perfect.
Goes down as a wild pitch. This was a Dodger team that handled hard right-handed changeups during the course of the season. Hit 280 against them. Here's a fly ball down the left field line, slicing foul. Ball and a strike. Home plate umpire, who already has a bruise, is Will Little. Corey Blazer at first, and Iasonia is now the crew chief. Alan Porter at third base. James Hoy is in left. Pat Hoberg worked the plate last night. He's in right. Last night's first base umpire has the night off before he works the plate. In game 3, that's Jim Reynolds. Here's a 1-1. Inside corner. Well framed by d'Arnaud, strike 2.
That's his money pitch. That hit. The league is not doing much on his inside fastball.
Talked about that changeup. He has yet to allow a hit on his changeup during this postseason through 2 starts. 1-2 pitch. Missed with a breaking ball. 2-2. Seager grounds it foul outside first. So we told you the Dodgers side of it. They have handled hard right-handed changeups this year to the tune of a 280 batting average. But the toughest pitches to hit during the regular season and postseason, the changeup of Ian Anderson, opponents hit .079 against it.
Yeah, he's done everything you need to do to put the hitters in a defensive situation. First leadoff hitter to get on in over a 10 1/3 innings. His last 10 1/3.
Fouled out of play. That .079, 5 for 63.
But the way he throws, the reason I say the matchup is going to be most difficult against the Dodgers, they don't miss a lot of fastballs. Ian Anderson's fastball is straight, so you're going to get a lot of foul balls, possibly deep counts, and then the Dodgers throughout the year have been good at picking out their pitch and a mistake and not missing it.
Two, and a swing and a miss struck him out. Out in front of it was Seager, and down he goes, and that's exactly what Anderson was looking for, a strikeout with a runner at second, now 1 away.
That's how good his changeup is. This ball's up in the zone. See the 4-seam spin. Looks like a fastball to Seager, and he just couldn't stay back long enough. Trying to pull the ball. You could see the ball just underneath the barrel of the bat. A really big strikeout for Ian Anderson. I'm telling you, he's got a heartbeat you wish you could teach in every young player, and he's been able to be cool under a lot of circumstances where not a lot of experience in his big league career.
Here's Justin Turner. That's outside for ball 1. Turner, who came to the Dodgers in 2014 at 29, has now 38 postseason RBIs since he turned 30, which is the 4th most on that list, albeit with more games. It always is the disclaimer. Turner now takes a strike, a ball and a strike, but he has been phenomenal. Missed some time this year with a strained left hamstring. But there are his postseason career numbers: 9 homers, 38 RBIs. That's the most in Dodger franchise history.
And he's also really good at being able to expose the defense. He will go to right field on given times. He'll make the commitment to do it. You see Freddie Freeman is way off the bag. Albies is behind second, trying to keep Mookie Betts as close as possible.
One pitch is skied out behind the second base position. Pache comes in, calls off Albies, and has it for out number 2. This inning and this opportunity will be in the lap of Max Muncy. Answer 6 questions about tonight's matchup between the Braves and the Dodgers, and you could win $25,000. It's super easy and free to play, so download the Fox Bet Super 6 app. There's still time to get your picks in for tonight's game. Runner at second, nobody out. Betts is now at second with 2 out, and here is Max Muncy. Blocked by Darno.
Once again, he's passed another quick test. Has Ian Anderson so far. You never want to have Mookie Betts on second base, nobody out, with Corey Seager up, and then of course Turner, and still have him at second base. The Dodgers just do a better job than most at making sure that runner's going to at least advance a base and score. Now it'll need a 2-out hit out of Max Muncy.
There's a strike from Anderson. Anderson from New York. And he made his major league debut against the Yankees on August 26th, held them to 1 run over 6 innings, and then in his next start at Fenway beat the Red Sox.
Now, when he went up against Garrett Cole, let's not forget he gave Garrett Cole his first loss in like 600 starts.
Here's a 1-1. Oh! Now that was a lineup that didn't have Judge in it, didn't have Stanton in it, didn't have LeMahieu in it, but still, I mean, when you get a kid called up in this strange year of 2020 and he beats the Yankees and the Red Sox in his first 2 games. It's the 18th pitcher in baseball's live ball era to do that. Out in front and off balance is Muncy, and now the count 2 balls 2 strikes.
He's quickly developing into a guy that when he needs the go-to pitch, it's becoming that changeup. Wainwright and Carpenter for years could go to that curveball anytime they wanted. Even Kershaw. Got to have that one pitch you can trust to get you in and out of trouble.
The 2-2 pitch is high at 95. Will Smith on deck.
You know, when he was signed, he basically was a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball. That changeup's come along and become his second best pitch, but he was known for that breaking ball.
Muncy trying to rescue this inning for the Dodgers and give LA the lead. You're in game 2. Just got a piece. And the easy way to look at what the Braves have done with their pitching is they've played 6 postseason games so far, and they've allowed a total of 6 runs.
That's going to get it done. In most cases, that's going to get it done. Yeah.
That is a check swing, didn't go. Ball 4, and that's the second walk here in the first inning for the Dodgers. And it leaves it on the young catcher, Will Smith.
close. But I'm just glad the third base or first base umpire makes those calls, right? I think where players get heated is when the home plate umpire does both, makes the call and sees the pitch.
Well, even you, as a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Well, they win every time. I thought they cheated every time. When you're on the mound, you have the best view. So they should just ask the pitcher.
It would be 100%.
Well, you have to throw a couple in there just to make it realistic.
Dodgers made Max Fried work last night in the first inning. Now they're making Ian Anderson work. Fried had 28 pitches in the first inning last night. That's 27 pitches by Anderson here this evening. 2 walks and a wild pitch. Runners at first and second for Will Smith. 25-year-old catcher. Ball, that's out. That's ball, 1 strike.
And this would be part of the game plan for the Dodgers who haven't seen him. See as many pitches early as possible, so the next time around you're all communicating what he's trying to do, and you can follow some kind of trend and make the adjustments necessary.
That is hard hit. What a pick. Austin Riley, and then the wide throw, but Freeman able to keep his foot on the bag. The call is out, but Freeman's reaction would lead you to believe that he thought he was off the bag. The call is out. I mean, the inning should be over.
I think Freeman's taught, as everyone should be, play it through. You never know, right? So even if you think you're on the bag and they challenge it, you never know what's going to happen. So continue to play. And he just got up to make sure once Mookie bets, he's going to be out.
It looks like he's on it. The first base umpire, Corey Blazer, called out. Freeman plays through the whistle, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do, just in case. You can't assume. But what a play. I told you, Riley is an underrated third baseman because he had to play left field when Donaldson was here. So he spent a lot of his career in left field, but he's now playing every day at third base, and that is a heck of a play.
I mean, what a pick. That ball was a rocket hit by Will Smith. Look at this.
Freddie does this a lot. He positions himself so wherever the throw is, he can make the necessary movement with his feet.
Out is the call. Well, let's say this. They've shown it on the replay board. The Braves are leaving the field. The Dodgers have given up, but there is no official call yet.
I'm making it official. Go ahead.
Are you? Okay.
I can't do that.
Learned?
I can't do that.
You have not learned.
I strike that from the record.
Okay. And out.
I told you it was the whole time.
What a play by Austin Riley. Helping Ian Anderson get around 2 walks and a wild pitch in the first inning. Freeman with that big body able to keep his foot on the bag. No score after 1. No runs or hits. Right-hander Ian Anderson able to get around a couple of walks and got a terrific defensive play from young 23-year-old third baseman Austin Riley, who went deep to break a 1-1 ball game in the 9th inning last night. Start of a 4-run 9th inning in that 5-1 win for Atlanta. Strike 1 on d'Arnaud.
d'Arnaud, as we've documented, has been so good for the Braves. Good on the road, good against fastballs. You cannot leave a ball middle to middle in on him. You've got to get him chasing your slider off the plate.
Had a hit last night. Coming off a great division series. He's got 9 hits and 23 at-bats.
He's been unreal. I mean, you talk about getting released, signed by the Dodgers, then went to the Rays, and now with the Braves having a monster season behind the plate.
With a team-friendly 2-year deal. That's at the knees. Strike 2 from Gonsolin. Gonsolin came up last year, went 4-2 with 1 save, 11 games, 6 starts, and an ERA under 3.
Ball that's out.
Just outside, and the count evens 2-2.
You know, you don't get to hear his name a lot because of the big names of Buehler and Kershaw and even the size of Dustin May. But he hasn't given up a run in the first 2 innings of any start this year, and he really has been stingy in the opponent's batting average.
He looks good tonight, 96 miles per hour, and already his 3rd strikeout. One away in the second. The National League Championship Series is sponsored by T-Mobile, connecting fans in all 50 states with America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile, your ticket to the game, and by John Deere. And by Camping World, making RVing fun and easy since 1966. I would say that is quite the tradition of great pitching in the Dodger organization.
It's amazing. It's not something that you just get lucky. This is an organization that produces year after year. They have the ability to translate their information. They have the ability to get their pitchers with great mechanics.
Here's Albies just flicking the bat at it, flips it into left, and that's out number 2 as A.J. Pollock comes in to make the grab. That was Oral Hershiser, who is represented by a cardboard cutout here tonight, despite the fact that there are roughly 10,500 fans in the stands.
You can't win 8 divisions in a row and have the best record in baseball if you don't establish a starting rotation like they have. And of course, Kershaw is the first word you think about, but their young arms, their minor league system, the way they draft, develop. I mean, the Los Angeles Dodgers starting 5 would rival anybody's starting 5. A lot of teams don't even have 5 starters. That shows you how deep they are.
And you see the people that they add. The scouting is just off the charts. And you know, last night we saw Brusdar Graterol come in, a former Minnesota Twin who he had an impingement, and so there were maybe some questions about his health. Well, those questions, forget it. The guy threw 100 miles an hour like he was rolling out of bed as the count's gone to 2-0 here on Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, there's no doubt the future for both these clubs. You're going to see both these clubs battle it out for about 3 more years by the makeup of their roster if they stay healthy.
Here is a fly ball into center. Bellinger in, Taylor out. And now Swanson is out. Inning and a half in the books. Game 2, no score. Tonight's game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. One of the questions was, who will hit the first home run in the game? 23% picked that man, previously pictured, Ronald Acuna Jr.
I can promise you this, his next time up, watch his swing speed.
Yeah, his fire's been lit.
Yeah, there can be a little aggression. That can work against you, obviously.
Bellinger gets under it, pops it foul left side, and that ball will get out of play.
Look, when you're as good as Ronald Acuna, and take the Marlins out of play because there's been some not so good situations there between the Marlins and the Braves. When you own the middle to away of the plate, they have no choice but to try to pitch you in. Now, some pitchers, I would argue most young pitchers don't know how to do that very well, but you've got to own the inside part of the plate or he is going to make a living the way he swings a bat.
Bellinger at the plate last night was hitless 0 for 4. He's in the hole here 1 and 2. And he swings and misses for out number 1 here in the second. Well, this kid can pitch. Ken Rosenthal, who is responsible in the Braves organization for banging the table and saying, we got to draft him.
His name is Greg Morehart, and he's the same scout who signed Mike Trout for the Angels. Morehart now works for the Red Sox, and he uttered these scouting words to live by when talking about Ian Anderson. He said, when you walk into a ballpark, you're looking for a freak. Well, Anderson, because of that over-the-top delivery John mentioned, fit that description. Pitchers who throw over the top generally are stiff in their delivery. Their ball comes out straight. Anderson, Morehart said, was more like a graceful deer.
Well, I'd say Trout and Anderson. That's pretty good.
Yeah. He's been outstanding. This kid. Future's bright. I like the fact that he had about 370 innings in the minor leagues to develop all of this. So nothing's going to bother him. He's going to be able to learn how to pitch in and out of trouble. Again, that front arm tucks in, and here comes the backside.
Here's his 1-1. That's down and in to A.J. Pollock, who had a hit last night. Had a good regular season with his 16 home runs, tied for third in the league, and 80 starts.
That's great.
In the minor leagues, 370 plus innings pitched. 2-1 the count. That is a strike as it's held there by Darno. Pollock didn't agree, and the count evens 2-2.
The reason that is great is he doesn't have to bounce around, eat innings out of the bullpen, and stunt the development of his third pitch. He can go out there and pitch and know every 5 days he's going to be counted on, even if it's in the minor leagues. We're so eager to get the arms in the big leagues to get him to contribute because we need more to contribute to get through 162.
Fly ball into left. Coming to get it is Markakis. Had time, made the play. 2 out in the second with Peterson coming up.
But the organizations that have the patience to develop their young pitchers, when they come up, they'll be ready longer. You won't have to keep sending them back and forth. And we see too much of that in the big leagues today. The arms are unbelievable. I've never seen velocity like we're seeing, but the pitching or the pitchability is stunted because these guys haven't had a chance to learn. So they only know one speed. Let it eat, pitch in the zone, strikeouts up, walks out, up, hit batsmen up, and homers are up.
Well, Anderson came ready. And he has rewarded the Atlanta Braves as Peterson looks at a strike. Might not have time the rest of the second. That's up to Peterson and Anderson. But we'll give you a look at what the Braves thought their rotation would be as they geared up for 2020. And then obviously a lot of things changed for everyone. But it really changed for this Braves rotation. 0-2 is the count on Jock Peterson. 2 for 6 this postseason. Strikeout, a fly out, and now a ball. Here's what it was going to look like, at least how the Braves had it drawn up. Fried, we saw last night. Soroka tore his Achilles, made just 3 starts. Cole Hamels just 1 start. Fultonevich 1 start, designated for assignment at the alternate training site, and Felix Hernandez opted out. Yes, that's King Felix. Here's a fly ball into right. Peterson's yelling at himself as he thinks he missed a pitch to Wallop. Instead, he's out number 3 in the second. 2 in the books in game 2. 0-0. Big Austin Riley walks in. He hit last night what StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, would call a no-doubter. Off Blake Trinan. Exit velocity 109.8. The launch angle 24 degrees, and it shot out of here and put him on our player resume, sponsored by Indeed. 4th youngest player with a go-ahead home run in the 9th inning or later in a postseason game all time. The youngest, Double X as they called him, Jimmy Fox, our buddy Tim McCarver. In game number 5 of the '64 World Series, your teammate Chipper Jones, and then this kid Austin Riley, who has also made a good defensive play to save at least a run in this ball game in game 2.
Yeah, he sure did. Big, strong kid that making adjustments year to year.
1-1 is out of the strike zone. 2 balls and a strike from Gonsolin.
I mentioned Gonsolin hasn't given up much in, well, any runs in the first 2. Third inning is his highest ERA for whatever reason. Numbers are what they are. And the second time through the lineup.
Here's a fly ball into center. Bellinger settles and grabs it for out number 1. Tom Verducci, give us a little more on the development of this 26-year-old right-hander Tony Gonsolin.
Yeah, you guys talked about that Dodger development system with pitchers, and if I were representing them in court, Tony Gonsolin would be my exhibit A. This is a guy they first saw in a summer league in a home run derby. He was a two-way player at St. Mary's. They wanted to sign him right there as an undrafted player. But he went back to St. Mary's for his senior year, actually hit more home runs than he allowed. Was really an 89 to 92 sinker ball pitcher. Got into the Dodgers system. They hooked him up to all their measuring devices, the high-speed cameras, the spin rate machines, and they said, listen, your four-seamer is way better than your sinker. They also put him on a weighted ball training program. By the next summer in Class A ball, Tony Gonsolin hit 100 miles an hour. And he has come quickly as a starting pitcher with the development of those 2 secondary pitches, the slider and that split change. You see him hold the ball in that split grip before it goes into the glove. Guys, before this at bat, he had thrown only 6 fastballs. There's one right there to the Braves, a team we've seen over the last couple of nights really feast on fastballs.
Well, Markakis comes up empty with this fastball, and he becomes the 4th strikeout victim for the pride of St. Mary's College in California.
He's checking all the boxes, meaning he's hitting every quadrant he wants to hit, changing speeds against this good fastball hitting team, as Tom alluded. And I think when a pitcher's in rhythm, and I would have argued he'd have been a little out of rhythm to start because he hadn't pitched in 17 days or so. But that is not, he has not shown any such.
Backing up is Turner. Pache is taken care of. He threw a simulated game through a side session, and now in game 2 of the NLCS hasn't allowed a base runner and has struck out 4 through 3. Welcome back to the NLCS, presented by Camping World. First year of this new stadium for the Texas Rangers, and it's a beauty. As Chris Taylor fouls the first pitch back, the number 9 man in the order for the Dodgers. He started last night in the outfield, starts tonight at second base, and he made a play to end the top of the first inning in support of Gonsolin. That misses. Ian Anderson now 13 2/3 scoreless in this postseason after his 2 so far in this game. That's the 2nd longest of any rookie in National League history in a single postseason.
Do we have the year of the rookie that did it?
Oh yeah, I was there.
What year?
2013.
2013.
I can even remember what Tim McCarver said about him when he pitched in the World Series. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That is a strike at 95, 2-2. I'm going to give you the team, and you're still not going to get it.
Yeah, that probably is true. All right, what's the team? Cardinals. That's what I was going to guess.
Here's a 2-2 and a line drive into center. Well hit. Back is Pache, and he is there, and then into the wall without number 1.
I was going to say Michael Walker.
Yes, 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 yes. Come on down, John Smoltz. He went 18 2/3 back in 2013. Nice play by Pache. Got a good jump. And Tim McCarver in the World Series at Fenway Park said Michael Walker has gone from being a good young pitcher to just a good pitcher. Take the qualifier out.
Take the young out.
He's just good.
Well, speaking of young, that's center fielder right there. A lot of them think a little Andrew Jones when you think about the defensive side of Christian. Gonna have to do a lot offensively to catch up to the former center fielder for the Braves.
Mookie Betts, who drew a walk, was at second base with nobody out in the first inning and then was stranded, thanks in part to a terrific defensive play by third baseman Austin Riley. Stands in with a count of 1-1. Our friends, by the way, at StatCast tell us that ball that Chris Taylor just hit,
109.
no, would have been a home run at Dodger Stadium.
Oh yeah.
But 407 straight away in a ballpark where they say the ball doesn't carry. It certainly carries better when the roof is open, as it is now. So Taylor gave it a ride, but was denied.
I was guessing the exit velocity. Sorry, went in another direction.
Oh, that's okay. 2-2. Now 3-2. We do a little stadium overlay, and you see in center field how that ball that Taylor hit, instead of being to the wall, would have been over the wall at Dodger Stadium. 2 walks for Mookie Betts in the ball game, and that's something that Dave Roberts will tell you he has passed on to the other guys in the lineup. Don't be afraid to take a walk from his days with Boston, and he's on for the second time.
Yeah, talking to Dave Roberts the previous series, he believed this stadium got his team going in Game 3. They only hit 1 home run against the Padres, but this offense passed on the baton. They had 10 walks in 5 innings, and then they started getting their hitting shoes on, using the gaps, taking the extra 90 feet. That's what he's preaching with this club, and that's what they can do. They love hitting home runs. They love National League in home runs, but they can do the other too.
Foul ball by Seager. And that 3 games against the Padres, 23 runs, 20 walks, 20 singles, the 1 home run, and they've hit only 3 so far this entire postseason. While there have been 102 overall hit, which is just off the all-time record, but there are more teams than ever, with 16 teams in a 30-team league getting in. Diving back in is Betts. He's at first with 1 down. Seager struck out his first time. Inside. You called it early with Seager. I think we had the Dodgers at the Mets in a ball game on a primetime start, and you said I really see Seager as being a future MVP in the National League.
Yeah, he's healthy. He had to battle through some tough injuries. You're talking about a Tommy John and then a hip, and you forget he's only 26.
Another foul, and he's part of that. Loaded doesn't even describe it. Free agent class as it stands now after next season at the shortstop position, and you could make an argument for anybody on the list. I think you and I picked the same guy in Lindor, but if you're going to, as you said, and I think rightly so, pick a franchise changing player, Francisco Lindor, but Trevor Story is on that list. Here's a 1-2 to Seager. Another strikeout of Corey Seager after a walk to Betts, and there are 2 down in the inning.
This is a filthy changeup, and this absolutely takes a turn to the right. See the fade action, and the key to that pitch, like any secondary pitch that ends up way outside, it has to have the appearance to the hitter that it's going to be in the strike zone. So when it leaves his hand, it's in the strike zone. And people at home said, how can the hitter swing at some of these pitches? Well, they have 0.003 seconds or whatever that is to make up their mind whether it's a strike or not, which triggers obviously the fast twitch fibers to go again and hit the ball, and it disappears.
Turner takes a strike. He thought it was up.
It's rare that you get the top of the strike zone and the bottom of the strike zone. And right now, both pitchers are getting that. That's great for the pitchers, not so great for the hitters. The hitter will tell you, you can have one of those, you can't have both. I didn't mind.
Yeah, but hitters complain less about that than they do side to side.
Right. But I'd argue that today, with the velocity, the top of the strike zone is virtually unhittable.
Oh, one pitch is dumped into center field. A base hit. Going first to third is Betts, testing the arm of Pache, and he is there with 2 out. First hit of the ball game belongs to Justin Turner, and it's first and third, 2 down.
This is a guy that stays inside the ball. See that leg, and he gets down, and then he fires the belt buckle right up the middle. He can go anywhere, and this is an aggressive play by Mookie Betts. This ball got to Pache really fast, and the throw's offline. You never want to make that third out at third base, but the aggressiveness of this park will play out better for the speed of both teams because how deep the outfielders have to play.
Again, it's up to Muncy. Ball takes inside, ball 1.
This guy can hit a high fastball. Not many can.
That is down. The count's 2-0. 39 home runs off the fastball since the start of last year, which is the 3rd most in baseball.
And 22 of those were on the elevated pitches. They were up. That's the most. So he definitely has that nitro zone that he drops the barrel of the bat, and he can get to that upper tier pitch.
Ball, that's out.
Count 3-0.
Green light him?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think you have to. Even though he's struggling, he's one of the best pitches he'll get a chance to see, maybe.
Might get him going. Instead, it's inside. Another walk. So both Betts and Muncy have walked twice. And Will Smith, who hit that rocket to third his first time up, will watch a visit from Rick Kranitz to the young pitcher Anderson. The visit from Rick Kranitz is ending just now. The home plate umpire Will Little went out there to try to speed it up, and the meeting continued.
Well, tough matchup here. Will Smith so good at staying on the fastball and the changeup, but the curveball is his big weakness. So with the bases loaded, not a lot of room for error. To see what their decision was to attack Will Smith here on the first pitch. The first pitch will tell you a lot about the rest of the at bat.
Bases loaded, 2 down.
There's the curveball.
And ball 1. This postseason, young Will Smith, 5 for 22, all 5 hits coming in game 3 of the division series against San Diego. Hitless in all the other games, looking to deliver for the Dodgers. There's a strike.
And that's what the game plan was. When Rick Kranitz came out to talk, he said, don't forget, you got this curveball, and the curveball is one of the things they already pre-talked about when Will Smith comes up. There's that over-the-top breaking ball, similar to a left-handed version of Kershaw.
Anderson deals, and a grounder to third. Getting the high hop is Riley into the bag to end the inning. That sends game 2 into the 4th. 0-0 Braves and Dodgers. Ian Anderson got into and out of trouble, able to exhale in the dugout for the Braves. 0-0 into the 4th inning. Top of the order for Atlanta. They do not have a base runner yet against Tony Gonsolin, who misses outside with a fastball to start the at bat for Acuna.
Well, the first pitch Acuna gets in the strike zone, that's when you'll see the highest velocity swing. He wants badly to do damage.
That is down. First pitch of the ball game from Gonsolin was in on Acuna, who likes to get after the first pitch. Acuna got out of the way. The bat handle was exposed. The ball hit the bat handle, and it went for strike 1. He eventually struck out. Here's a 2-0. Fooled him with that. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he struck out non-competitively, like it wasn't even close. And I think sometimes the frustration, and nobody wants to get hit, and he's gotten hit a lot. Nobody wants to be pitched up and in. He's got to make the adjustment.
That misses to run the count 3-1. Well, you know, if this ball is anywhere close, Acuna is going to come out of his shoes. 14 home runs during the regular season. He takes ball 4 on a pitch in the dirt, and the Braves have their first base runner of the night. Let's go back to the bases loaded situation a moment ago.
This was awesome execution. He missed with a curveball, but he didn't give up on it, and he made a great pitch right there, which set up the third pitch. 3 curveballs in a row, and he gets out of a big jam, and he didn't let himself get bothered by the count or the situation. Talked about that slow heartbeat. This is the conversation they were having. And certainly a sigh of relief for Ian Anderson, who keeps that scoreless streak going.
Check on the runner, Acuna. He is one of the better base runners. Base stealers, was 8 for 9 during the regular season. Decent sized lead here. Stays put. Freeman takes a ball.
Well, what right-handers want to do is keep them close, but when you watch Gonsolin come to the set, he'll be open, check out Acuna, but then if he closes off with that front foot, it makes it difficult for him to spin. See how his foot's closed?
Freeman takes a strike. Good pitch from Gonsolin. 1 ball, 1 strike. Acuna, 1 of 5 to have 80+ home runs, 50+ stolen bases before the age of 23. But doesn't turn 23 until the middle of December. He's got 61 steals to go with his 81 home runs in 314 games played. On a list with A-Rod and Trout, Griffey Jr. and Andrew Jones. Good pick by Smith. 2 balls and a strike.
And what you want to do, even though there isn't a lot of running in our game today, you've got to mess up the timing of the base runner, because if you get into a pattern or you're giving something away, that allows the runner to take advantage and have an easier chance to steal a base.
Freeman just frozen on that pitch by Gonsolin. 2-2.
2 schools of thought here. Of course, you got Freddie Freeman up, which keeps the first baseman locked in the bag, opens the hole. But now with 2 strikes, they put the full effect of the shift. This brings Acuna's ability to go from first to third a lot easier if he steals the bag. Or if there's a ground ball to, let's say, even Corey Seager. Everyone has to be aware that when they release the ball, Corey's going to have to sprint to get to third, because third is unoccupied right now.
2-2 pitch is outside, a full count.
Well, this is where you trust Freddie Freeman as your best hitter, and you send Ronald Acuna on the pitch and trust that Freddie's not going to expand the zone.
Struck out his first time. He does not run, and this one is driven into right. Goodbye. Freddie Freeman goes deep. And it's a 2-0 Atlanta lead here in the fourth inning. Who has spent over half his life in the Braves organization, 11 years in the big leagues, first LCS, and he's played 2 games, has 2 home runs. Ozuna takes a strike. So another game and another opportunity made good to score first, which they have done 7 straight. They're 6-0 this postseason. This one is fouled back, and that shot to right will make his boy Charlie happy. He's got a good swing of his own, by the way.
Well, you couldn't draw up. You really couldn't draw up a formula to execute. Don't give up any runs early. Take the lead. Win every game. Right? I mean, it just doesn't happen that way, especially with what's been going on. Here's the split finger fastball, and it just hangs and stays in the middle of the plate. Freddie Freeman chokes up the bat and gets so much barrel on this ball.
Anderson cheering the fact that he's got a lead. A walk to Acuna and a 3-2 pitch that was hit out of the park by Freeman. Strike 1 on d'Arnaud. Have you seen the video of Freddie Freeman's little boy Charlie swinging the bat?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a race. Well, Brian McCann's little one's older. Both are tremendous hitters for their age.
He was on social media earlier in the year, and the roles were reversed, with Dad taking Charlie out of the yard, literally. Here's an 0-2 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But then we got to see in a meeting room the swing that Charlie has, and that kid can rip. Here's a 1-2 from Gonsolin. 2-2. Freddie and his wife Chelsea, their one boy Charlie, and Chelsea's pregnant with twins, I'm told. Two-two pitch. Good work by Gonsolin to bounce back after the home run. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 out. Let's go back to that that big swing and the home run.
Have you seen that Freeman kid?
Freddie better watch out.
Oh my God.
Charlie can hit.
It's just so fun. He loves the game just as much as I do, so we're having a blast.
All right, scouts, there you go. There's your early tape on Charlie Freeman. Here's a foul out of play off the bat of Ozzie Albies. And the ball that Freeman just hit was like the one he hit off Charlie in the backyard.
Give him time. Charlie will wise up and tell his daddy wants to be a starting pitcher.
Here's a swing and a miss. 2 strikes on Albies, and this would say something for Gonsolin if he can bounce back from that home run, giving up the first runs of the game by striking out the side in the heart of the order.
Yeah, he really has been awesome. You give up a 2-run homer, and it certainly can alter you a little bit. He's just kind of grinded him down to be nastier.
That skips in there, and Albies ends up on the ground. Albies fly to left his first time up, so 0 for 1. Here's a 1-2.
You know, it's rare that 2 teams come in here. I know the formula is different, the playoffs are different. It's rare both teams come in without losing a game. So someone had to lose the first game. And when you get in games like this, you know, you give up the lead, and the other team that's losing, in this case the Dodgers, they go, okay, all right, we know we got to score. Hang it right there. Keep it right there. We're going to score. But the longer you give a young team or a young pitcher the ability to stay confident, you grow with that confidence. And you can't say anything more other than what Ian Anderson has been able to do in this postseason. I don't think it's possible to pitch any better.
Well, the Dodgers are going to have to hit.
Yep.
They're the #1 team in home runs during the regular season, #1 in runs. They had the best record at 43-17. They've been the top win team 3 of the last 4 years. But they're going to have to come up with some big hits that they have been looking for over the last 2 nights. They haven't received them yet. Here's one that is over the outstretched glove of Taylor and into right. Albies is on with a 2-out single.
You know, you got to remind yourself, you know, if you were in the old format, what does the road team want to do? They want to steal a home game, right? So that when they got on there, well, no one's going anywhere, but they're going to flip-flop as if they are. And so the Braves have been the road team the first 2 games. They already stole the win. This is like a bonus to where then they turn around and become the home team. You almost got to remind yourself that that's still the case with no traveling and no changing of the ballpark, obviously.
But they'll go to their home uniforms,
yep,
and they'll get to bat last.
Yep.
They will stay in the same dugout,
but they will switch hotels. No, I'm just kidding.
They're actually staying in the same hotel. The Braves and the Dodgers. So, you know, they can see the guy they're going to face tonight sitting at breakfast. Ball 1 is into Dansby Swanson. Top pick back in 2015.
Oh, it's out.
That's just outside. 2-0. Dansby has hit 2 home runs this postseason. 12 total for the year. 28 pitches over the first 3 innings and 28 so far in this 4th inning alone. Two and 1.
Well, from this point on, really, the Dodgers, I know they've kind of left things a little bit up in the air, but they got to play it straight. Dave Roberts is going to have to use his traditional relievers. And they hope that Kershaw will be right when he wants to be in game 4. Urias will pitch tomorrow. I know there's that open case where he could be available today.
Two and 2. Yeah, it appears at this point, and you heard Tom Bertucci talk about it before the first pitch. John just touched on it. Julio Urias for the Dodgers in game 3 tomorrow, and Kyle Wright gets the ball for the Atlanta Braves, coming off 6 shutout innings in Game 3 against Miami and Houston. They've announced Urias, but everything always comes with that little asterisk by it, like, well, this is our plan now, but we'll see once we get into the ballgame. 2-2 pitch here is down and away, and that means Albies will get a head start at first. Swanson, the shortstop for Atlanta. The other 2 shortstops on that crazy free agent class after next year. Javier Baez of the Cubs and Carlos Correa. Talked about that earlier. Runner goes and a foul to join Trevor Story and Francisco Lindor and Corey Seager.
Yeah, it took a while for Kyle to kind of adjust to the overall #1 pick for the Diamondbacks, but then never really getting an opportunity to get traded. And you can imagine what that did to your mind. And then going home to the Atlanta Braves, you see that list right there. But he has adjusted well and been really steady for them the last 2 years. Last year, of course, he got an injury, or 2 years ago when he faced the Dodgers.
Hit to third. Turner picks it up, guides it across. It's a 2-run 4th inning for Atlanta. Freeman homered in the 1st inning last night. Followed the walk to Acuna with a home run to right tonight. Charlie loves it. The Braves love it. Leading Game 2, 2-zip. Bellinger takes a strike underway in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bellinger, Pollock, and Peterson. Dodgers now trailing by 2 on the home run by Freeman. That's inside from Ian Anderson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, Joe, what Ian Anderson has been able to do is mess up the game plan of the Dodgers. You try to eliminate 2 pitches and sit on a pitch. But because he's thrown enough strikes with every one of those pitches that they got to go up there going, oh, shoot, right? First pitch, sometimes curveball, sometimes he gets a changeup, but his ability to throw strikes today is why he's having the success he has.
Here's one down toward the end of the bat into right field, and easy for Acuna. 1 out. Bellinger 0 for 6. The 2020 MLB postseason continues tonight. Game 3 of the ALCS between the Rays and the Astros. Rays up 2-zip. Then tomorrow we're back here. Game 3 of this series. Dodgers and Braves. Coverage begins at 5 Eastern on FS1, followed by Game 4 of the ALCS over on TBS. See what's happened with Houston leaving runners on. Scored just 3 runs, and for Tampa Bay, their team average, 5 of their 6 runs have scored via the home run ball. Strike 1 is into A.J. Pollock. Strike 2. Dodgers have just 1 hit. They've been handed 4 walks. They've stranded 5. That is up for ball 1. Left-hander is getting loose for Atlanta, Tyler Matzik. This will be pitch number 74, and it is strike 3. Pollock surprised to hear it, and strikeout number 4 for Ian Anderson. And let's see how Ian is doing it so far tonight.
Yeah, so you're going to see the straight over the top fastball that follows this changeup, comes out of the same slot, and you're going to see a curveball with the spin rate right there. Now imagine if you're sitting at the plate. Here's the timing. The red is the fastball. The green is the changeup. It stops there because that's the timing mechanism, and then the blue is the curveball. So when you're timing up his fastball, guess what? The changeup doesn't get there at the same time, and it has depth, and the curveball is even slower. So he has the built-in ability to change the eye level, change the timing, and then throw 3 pitches in 3 different speeds. That is how you keep a team like the Dodgers frustrated.
Oh. There's one outside to Peterson, who flied to right his first time. And along those lines, to put numbers with the lines, he has not allowed the Dodgers really an opportunity to sit on anything.
No. And their best chance was in the first inning, man on second, nobody out. He walked a couple hitters, and that's the one thing he can get a little way from the strike zone. But he has, for the most part, hit with early pitches, and then when there's a weakness to a hitter, he keeps throwing that pitch.
Which he showed with the curveball with the bases loaded to Will Smith.
I'm just telling you, you can understand why the Dodger hitters are getting upset, because when you dot the top of that strike zone, they're like, look, you can't give them both. You can't give them up and down. But credit him for hitting it up there.
Here's one left side foul. 2-2 on Peterson.
You know, there's been this talk. I don't think it ends up coming into play, but you know, people have been talking about an electronic strike zone. Be careful what you wish for, because the velocity of the guys that can pitch at the top of the zone would make it very, very difficult. Already more difficult than it is on the hitters.
Full count. Number 9 man is Taylor, who hit the ball to the wall his first time up in center, waiting on deck. Full count, 2 out, nobody on. 2-0 Atlanta. And that is walk number 5. And the tying run will come to the plate. Chris Taylor. One in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play Little League next season. Every time you text Little League to 313131, T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball.
Be careful on the first pitch. Taylor likes to launch first pitch.
Takes it in at the knees. It's 94 for strike 1. All in inside. A ball and a strike. A 2-out walk has kept this 4th inning alive for the Dodgers, down by 2. That is low. 2-1.
Great pitch, but better take. Chris Taylor has missed almost 50% on changeups. And that was a pitch you wanted as a pitcher. You want him to swing. So better take. And see if he can stay disciplined down in the zone. He likes the ball up. Oh, went right back to it.
And the count evens at 2. Anderson this postseason, 15 2/3 innings pitched, no runs, 6 hits, 22 strikeouts, 8 walks. In command in game 2 with his Braves up 2-0 over the Dodgers. Well, the kid's been something. Ian Anderson, no runs, 1 hit. He has walked 5, struck out 5 now. No runs against him this postseason. Here's a foul backing out of play by Austin Riley, and Brian Snitker is nice enough to join us from down in the dugout. Are we reading the body language in the dugout right? Is Ian finished for the night?
Yeah, Ian's finished. That was a hard 4 innings. I mean, he expended a lot of energy, and it wasn't real sharp like he has been, but he does what he does. He battles, and but I just kind of feel like after Fletcher, a lot of energy expended to go through this thing 3 more or another time.
Yeah, I mean, when you can say that a guy is not real sharp, and I know that's evidenced by the 5 walks, and the kid who's a rookie is allowed no runs on 1 hit through 4 innings in the NLCS. That's pretty darn good.
That's pretty good. I mean, for his first experience here and to do what he did, and that's what he's been doing, though. I mean, he keeps pitching, and I was just hoping after that first inning that he'd settle in and kind of catch up with the pitches and have some easy innings, and it didn't pan out. So that's a good job. I mean, he did a great job on a day that he wasn't as sharp as he normally is.
Austin Riley at the plate with a count of 3-1. One more question, then we'll let you go after this pitch from Gonsolin. And Riley fouls it away. It's a full count. Who's next?
Matzik. We'll run Tyler Matzik out there for a little bit.
All right. Thanks for the visit, and we appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. That is Brian Snitker from the Braves dugout, and there you go. 4 innings, shutout ball, 1 hit, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, and he's finished. Here's a swing and a miss by Riley, and Gonsolin has struck out 7. 1 out here in the 5th.
Well, Gonsolin is equally matched. What Ian Anderson has been able to do, he just made 1 mistake, and that 1 mistake normally doesn't cost you the game, but the way the Braves are going, of course, up 2-0, and their pen has been hot. They're just following the lead of this postseason so far. Tremendous pitching, timely hitting, and leads they haven't given up.
Ball it down.
62 innings pitched by Atlanta this postseason, and the Braves pitching has put up zeros in the 62 innings in 58 of them.
That is impressive.
1-0 pitch on the way to Markakis. A ball and a strike. We can all see why the Dodgers are so excited about Gonsolin as he misses inside to fall behind in the count.
I wonder if Gonsolin won the lawsuit he's got going against the Captain Morgan guy.
I knew something was coming. Here's a 2-1 pitch. What, for identity theft?
Yeah, identity theft.
I think Captain Morgan guy is probably out in front on that.
Tony Gonsolin's out in front on a lot of his mechanics. He gets downhill and the ball explodes.
A noted cat lover, Tony Gonsolin. Here's one fouled out of play left side.
Like fanatic cat lover, I believe.
Look at the shirt. I mean, that just kind of says it all, but there's more to it. I mean, he'll tell you himself. Another foul out of play left side, and the count stays 2-2. You a cat guy?
No.
Cats? I'm coming around. I have to tell you, yeah. Pete the cat. I love Pete the cat. My 2-year-old twins love Pete the cat. One groovy dude.
Is that a TV character?
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
Books. Great soundtrack. Elvis Costello's on it. There you go.
I like cats. I'm more of a dog person. I don't like cats, but I like Tony. They're small, they're independent, they're soft, they're cuddly when they want to be.
I do not like cats. No, he knows that. Not a huge cat guy.
Got cat class and I got cat style.
There you go. You can do all that because the guy can pitch.
Yes, he can.
As he misses inside a full count. Independent, cuddly, soft. That's how I would describe Kenny Rosenthal. The Cat Man. Yeah. Here's his 3-2 to Markakis. Okay, that's it. That's the last one we're showing. Look at that. Who knew?
There's something wrong with that one.
Taco Cat spelled backwards is Taco Cat. 3-2 pitch. A walk. Good at bat by Markakis. Come back, viewers. Come back. Second walk. Issued by Gonsolin in the National League Championship Series, sponsored by Indeed. Upload your resume today. And by Geico. The world was out in front of those three back then. Why were you in the back of that photo?
Because Maddox and Gladden took turns driving the car. I was in the back seat. I had a good ride. I had a good watch from 2 300-game winners.
Hall of Famers. With one out. Here's one down the line, slicing foul. That was then, and this is now.
What a series so far. We knew this series was going to be a great one. Dominated by young arms. 2 great offenses. The chess match. I like back and forth. Swing and misses. Homers. We've seen it all.
And Gonsolin matched up with Ian Anderson. Anderson is finished. Gonsolin will go deeper into the ball game. But right now on the short end. That's down. 1 ball, 1 strike. The bullpen, by the way, is active for LA. We heard Matzik is next in for Atlanta. And that's Trinan, who took the loss last night. That is down 2-1.
Well, the bullpen will get going, as you said, and I think the outing they were hoping for out of Tony Gonsolin can be that outing if he gets through the 5th inning and holds the Braves to just 2 runs.
Still throwing hard. 95, 2-2 the count on Pache. Christian 0 for 1, drew 2 walks last night against Walker Buehler. Got into just 2 games in the big leagues this year, went 1 for 4. Just reshaping and remaking this roster over these 60 games and into the postseason. That is low, and it's a full count. And by the way, if you haven't heard, Adam Duvall has been taken off the active roster, and Johan Camargo has been added to the active roster for Brian Snitker and the Atlanta Braves after Duvall strained his oblique pretty severely last night in the 2nd inning. 3-2 pitch, grounded to 3rd, and that's fair down the line. Pollock over to dig it out. Markakis will be brought around 3rd. Seager throws safe. It's 3-0. Pache, the rookie, finds daylight between Turner and the line, and the kid delivers here in the 5th.
Got to give him credit. He drew 2 walks yesterday, got to a 3-2 count, and hit it by Turner just down the line, and that allowed Nick Markakis to make the journey home. This ball didn't kind of come off the wall the way they thought. Relay was not in time.
Pache is now at second with an RBI double. That is his first big league RBI, and it comes in game 2 of the NLCS. Just his second big league hit. Back to the top, and Acuna. Gonsolin stays out there and finds the strike zone to start the at-bat.
This is where the patience is going to be difficult, but has to be patient. Dave Roberts knows it's going to be or could be a long series, and you can't chase every game and expect your relievers to cover all the innings.
They're starting to have to hope it's a long series.
Correct. But, you know, with the, I'm reminded, I know this is not the same situation, but I'm reminded when the Cubs were down 3-1 to the Indians, they had all their pitchers lined up to come back in that series, and they did. And part of that is the same kind of philosophy for the Dodgers. They have their pitchers lined up to flip a series, to turn it around.
No doubt about it. That skips in. Good pick by Smith.
Well, I don't know how he caught this. That's a split finger that just absolutely went the wrong way. Came over the top of it.
Acuna with the count in his favor, 2-1. Pache at second. 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Freeman. Lefty has joined the action out there. Now Baez is up, the right-hander. Treinen has taken a seat. And Kolarek is up, the lefty. And with Freeman on deck, this could be it. Oh! It's another walk to Acuna. Second of the inning, third of the game for Gonsolin. And Dave Roberts comes out of the dugout. This year during the NLCS, every time a batter hits a home run that directly hits the Hit It Here sign, a fan will win a new RV from Camping World. For rules and how to enter, visit campingworld.com/NLCS. Gonsolin got into the 5th. He has allowed 3 runs, responsible for 2 on. And it's the young outfielder Christian Pache exciting his dugout. Pitching change for LA in the 5th. Made his last start 17 days ago. And he came roaring out of the gate, retired the first 9 hitters, struck out 4 through the first 3, but allowed a walk and then a 2-run home run by Freeman in the 4th. An RBI double by Pache in this 5th. And now with 2 on and only 1 out, Pedro Baez takes over with the left-handed hitting Freddie Freeman at the plate. With the rule change requiring anybody coming out of the pen, unless they end the inning, to face 3 batters instead of Kolarek for the lefty on lefty matchup, it's Baez, who they don't mind at all against left-handed batters, and you have a better shot of getting through the rest of the inning unscathed.
Yeah, he's kind of a reverse split guy. Much better numbers against left-handers. With that changeup right there, he throws a fastball, changeup, slider. Left-handers are only hitting 111 off that changeup. You see the opponent's batting average, That's what's called a reverse split. Arm side usually dominates the right-handed hitter, but in this case, his stuff has dominated the left-handed hitter.
Freeman with a 2-run shot last inning, batting with 2 on here, and he grounds one through the hole into left center field. Flying to the plate is Pache. Digging over to third is Acuna. He stays on the bag. Another RBI for Freeman, and it's 4-0 Atlanta here in the 5th.
Well, that's typical Freddie Freeman. I'm going to tell you something. When you see Acuna run live, I don't know many people that can get to. I mean, he just slides so aggressively because he's so fast. This was going to be the easy run. The question, look how quickly he's. Maybe he could take on the Flash in Atlanta.
He just lays out, gets his right hand on the bag, and is able to stay on it with the tag still on that arm and hand by Turner. It's a 4-0 game. First and third, still only 1 out. The batter is Ozuna. Ball 1 from Baez. Marcel is 0 for 2 tonight. Last night had an RBI single, one of his 2 hits, and a run scored. The damage in the 9th. That's inside, 2-0.
It wouldn't surprise me. Again, the Braves could be a little more aggressive, but you can run off a bias. I know it's Freddie Freeman, but he's been known to kind of sneak attack a pitcher every once in a while.
Ozuna jumped at that pitch, fouled it away. Tom, finding a hole in that defense was Freddie Freeman in the shift a moment ago.
Yeah, Freddie told me that when he sees that shift with runners in scoring position, he actually likes to see that. It makes him a better hitter when all that's called for is a single. This guy hits well over 300 in his career scoring position. You have to use the whole field to have that kind of a number.
2-1 pitch here and grounded foul. 2-2 on Ozuna. This is gone for Atlanta with their 3 straight divisional titles from being a good young lineup. I'm going to borrow from Tim to just a good lineup, and with Ozuna and the addition on that 1-year deal, he's kind of set the whole thing in motion, especially with d'Arnaud on deck. That is down 3-2. Those 2 guys have set this lineup for Brian Snitker into one that is dangerous, really, top to bottom.
Yeah, in any team's successful campaign, you need your great players to be great, your good players to be good, but then you need some unexpected help. You need some guys to come up huge that you didn't maybe think about it, and that's the combination of both clubs. I mean, a lot of great players on both these clubs, don't get me wrong, but some unexpected success goes a long way.
Runner is going on ball 4. Freeman was on the move. Ozuna reaches on the walk. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for d'Arnaud. In case you are just joining us, the Braves, who won last night 5-1, lead this one 4-0. Clayton Kershaw was scratched from the start with back spasms. They won him. They're hopeful he can pitch game 4 on Thursday. Freddie Freeman with a 2-run home run and an RBI single a moment ago. Ian Anderson so good in 4 innings. His night is over. So the Braves are going to have to go to their bullpen. And Christian Pache just got his 2nd big league hit and 1st big league RBI with a double in this 5th inning. Batting out of the number 9 spot. d'Arnaud, strike 1.
d'Arnaud missed his pitch, and Pedro Baez needs to not throw that pitch again in that area. See, they wanted away. See how that ball backed up? That is not a good recipe for a pitcher if you do it again. Got to make the ball turn the corner against Darno on the outside part of the plate.
Bases are loaded, one out. That is high for ball one. So we heard from Braves manager Brian Snitker that he's going to go to his bullpen in this fifth inning. After a stressful but shutout 4 innings from the 22-year-old Ian Anderson. Matzik is ready to go. He's been ready for a while. The next to Darno is inside. He checked it, 2-1.
Well, you don't make that move if you don't feel strong about your bullpen. And Brian Snitker's bullpen, one of the best in baseball. They made those adjustments in the offseason by acquiring the depth that was required for a 162. Well, it's not 162, but in essence, this playoff format with no days off gives him some leverage.
During the regular season, the Braves bullpen was 4th in baseball, an ERA of 3.5, and so far this postseason they've allowed 1 run in over 23 innings. Coming up on a 25-minute half inning. And Matzik has been ready for about the last 15 of those minutes. The next to Darno is down, and the count goes to 3-1. The red-hot Travis Darno.
Been about 112 points ahead in the count versus behind.
Three-one pitch. In for a full count. 6 of the 7 hitters in this inning have seen a 3-ball count against the Dodger right-handers. Gonsolin, now Baez.
Yeah, the Braves turned into the Dodgers this inning. They've worked the count. They haven't expanded the zone too much, and they've made the Dodgers pay for it. This is typically what the Dodgers do.
All right, 3-2 pitch is in the dirt. That will force home a run. 5-0 Atlanta on a walk and an RBI to Travis Darno. Acuna comes across, and everybody moves up. It'll bring in Albies. This will be the 43rd pitch of the inning.
Yeah, you have to stop the bleeding right here. I mean, this has to be a situation where you try, as Baez is trying to do, it's hard to get a double play against Albies. So you either get a pop-up or a strikeout. Got to try to get out of this without any more runs given up.
Strike one. Albies a single his last time up. Fly to left his first time. 8th man to bat in the inning. Likes this situation, as most hitters do. 4 grand slams in his young career. The 0-1. Strike 2. Dodgers will have the top of the lineup in the bottom of the 5th to greet the Atlanta bullpen. Tyler Matzik will be the first one out of it. Freeman, Ozuna, Darno. Albies waits and takes ball 1. Dylan Floro, the right-hander, is getting loose. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Not close.
Yeah, those two are not what you want. Those were two non-competitive pitches, meaning there's no chance the hitter's going to swing at any of those, and all it does is bring the count now closer to the hitter's favor, because you can't mess around anymore. You got to make your action pitch right here. You don't want to get to 3-2 like he has been on the previous guys.
A hit, back-to-back walks, and now a full count after an 0-2 start on Ozzie Albies.
And that's what happens. You threw one of your best changeups 2-2. If that changeup would have been 0-2, there might have been a chance he would have swung at it because of the two previous pitches in his memory.
3-2, and that's driven in the air to center. Back is Bellinger with a leap, a grab, tagging and scoring is Freeman, and it is a loud, long sac fly off the bat of Albies to make it 6-0 Braves here in the 5th.
This is a great defensive play. This ball was smoked, and his height and ability to get back on the ball enabled the Dodgers to not have the bases cleared right there. What a play.
And this swing goes for the RBI. Third of this series for Albies, and will chase Pedro Baez. Baez is gone. Gave up a single, 2 walks, a sac fly. Freeman right in the middle of it again for Atlanta. We are in the top of the 5th. A chance for more for the Braves, who lead in this NLCS and lead in game 2, 6-0. Beautiful ballpark in Arlington, Texas, and a good start to this game in this NLCS for the Atlanta Braves. Dylan Floro trying to stop it right here. First and third with 2 out. The 9th man to bat in the inning is Dansby Swanson. Strike 1 from Floro.
Floro got a lot of movement on his pitches, and right now Dave Roberts needs Floro to eat up innings, eat up outs. Even if they don't come back and win this game, if he can eat up 2 innings or more, it helps save the guys you need to move forward to get back in the series. So it hasn't worked to this point, but Dave would need some outs out of Dylan Floro.
Well, if there is a team that can come back, it would be this Dodger team, with the way they put up runs in 2020. Home runs, but so far they've been held to no runs on 1 hit. They've been handed 5 walks. They've stranded 6. Here's a 1-1 from Floro, and that's strike 2. Line is complete on Tony Gonsolin, 4 1/3, 5 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, a home run.
He pitched a whole lot better than that, and that line is going to look unfavorable on the outing he had. But again, he had some heads up notice that he was pitching today. It was going to be Clayton Kershaw. And the reason I said the only advantage that comes out of that, because it's not like unless Clayton can't pitch the rest of the series, is it was a mental kind of advantage you could use if you're the Braves, right? That's it, because the Dodgers knew they were going to use Gonsolin at some point. It's not like he wasn't going to be a big part of this series. He just now happens to be a bigger part of this series if it goes to the end. 7 games.
2-2 pitch here, and a swing and a miss, and the long top of the 5th inning comes to an end, but 4 runs on the board. Reliever spotlight presented by the Hartford in a 6-0 ball game. The left-hander Tyler Matzik, relief of Ian Anderson, who went 4.
At this point, Dodgers don't care who it is as long as Ian Anderson's not in there.
First up is Betts. He drew 2 of the 5 walks that Anderson, who pitched so well again here tonight, but as you heard Brian Snitker say, 4 rather stressful innings.
Matzik is going to come at you with a 4-seam fastball, slider, cutter, and curveball.
Betts pops it up, shallow center. Pache is in and takes it in for out number 1. For more on Tyler Matzik, let's check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Matzik is one of the great comeback stories of the season. He spent years trying to overcome the yips. That's the term baseball people use when a pitcher develops a sudden inability to throw strikes. This guy was the 11th overall pick by the Rockies in 2009. That's the same draft. Strasburg went number 1, Trout went number 25. He made it to the majors by the age of 23, but then in the spring of 2015, things began to unravel. Now his story, his return from the yips, it's similar to that of Daniel Bard's. He's the guy who resurfaced with the Rockies this season for the first time since 2013. And what's interesting is that the two actually crossed paths in spring training with the Diamondbacks last year when Matzik was there and Bard was the team's mental skill coach. The Diamondbacks released Matzik. He goes to independent ball, all the way back to independent ball last year to the Texas Air Hogs. And then he signed a minor league deal with the Braves last August. A year later, he's in the postseason.
And here he is 7 miles away from where he pitched for the Texas Air Hogs as he misses outside the Seager. 2-1 in Grand Prairie, Texas. So this former first-round pick has remade himself and is the player personnel director for the Texas Air Hogs, Billy Martin Jr.
Huh.
And a big piece of the puzzle for the Braves out of their pen, 95 but up and in. The count 3-1 as the Dodgers look for anything they can find to get going. Both 18 and 19 pitched in independent baseball. Matzik. Here's his 3-1. Full count on Seager.
It just comes out of his hand nice, right? You look at some of these pitchers in the game today and their ability to stay back and let their gifted arm. It's that late life that is hard for hitters to pick up. Velocity they're getting used to, but the late life of the velocity is tough.
That is a 1-out walk. And the Dodgers have to hope it's the start of something here in the 5th. We've done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Dodgers have been handed 6 walks, but have just 1 hit.
Well, the execution of when you're looking at the game planning against a team, it's one thing to game plan, it's another thing to execute. And so far, the Braves pitchers have executed in situations better than the Dodgers have.
Turner has LA's only hit so far. He takes a strike. The 4-seam velocity has actually been added to during the postseason for Matzik. Averaged 94.3 during the regular season, 96.6 in the postseason. His 0-1 is down.
And adrenaline, it can be a beautiful thing. It can be a destroyer for some guys because of that. I've always said that the guys who perform, have a slower heartbeat or lets the game slow down because typically it speeds up. It's more important.
Off the fists, back out of play. Strike 2 on Turner.
But I will say that, we'll have an opportunity after this is all done to kind of factor in. It's hard to factor the no packed house stress of playoffs versus, for the most part, no fans until this series. And then there'll be fans for the World Series, but it is different.
Turner waits and takes just inside.
Oh, was that a good breaking ball? It was so good it froze Turner. didn't get the call, did Matson. This ball just decides right there to just make a nasty turn in, locks them up.
One on, one out. You all right? You sure? His home plate umpire Will Little checking in with Darno to make sure that he was okay after that foul tip off the mask. 31-year-old catcher. Big part of the success here in 2020 with Atlanta. Regular and postseason. Turner waits. The count remains 2-2. Left side, might be able to turn it out at second. Got them both. Riley started it. Albies in the middle. And just 5 hits through a game and a half for the Dodgers, who trailed tonight by 6.
Third baseman Austin Riley.
Welcome back to the NLCS, presented by Camping World. 6th inning of Game 2. Atlanta back to the bats with the bottom 3 in their lineup. Riley, Markakis, Pache. Dylan Floro did a nice job to come on and shut the door on the 5th, and here he is for the 6th. Riley is 0 for 2. Ball hit. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, we don't know how this series is going to go, but early on, Riley has had the biggest hit. He's had one of the best plays in the field to kill a rally and then to start a rally with that home run in the 9th.
That is foul. Yeah, his good defensive play came all the way back in the 1st inning when Ian Anderson walked 2, threw a wild pitch in there. And with a couple on, Will Smith hit that shot that he picked. And then Freddie Freeman was able to keep his foot on the bag to end the inning. Scott Lindell with the camera work to prove that Freeman did indeed keep his foot on the bag. There's the camera and there's parts of Scott. Riley with a count of 2-2 keeps it right there. 2 rookies started this ball game on the mound. Ian and Tony, and they are both gone. And only Tony can get a decision in this game.
Yeah, and the decision got a lot easier for Dave Roberts about tomorrow's starter. We can pretty much pencil in Urias.
I got it. Taylor. 1 down in the 6th. Tomorrow, TV's #1 show is off the charts with the most incredible performances of the year. Plus, a fan favorite is going home in a surprising elimination. The Masked Singer is all new tomorrow on Fox.
I'm trying to think what my costume would be.
Here you go. I see Masked Singer costumes. I see kind of Muppet looking dudes. Burkhart's back there. In for a strike at 95 to Markakis. I could see you dressed as a gigantic peacock singing I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you by Air Supply. It would be hard to wear the peacock costume with, I know, the accordion that you would bring out there with you.
That's true. I would be bringing out a prop. You can bring out a prop, right?
Sure. There are no rules. Rules are there are no rules on the Masked Singer. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Outside. Markakis drew one of 4 walks handed to the Braves by Dodger pitching in the 5th.
You know what I miss most besides the competition? I miss the mental gymnastics that you play in a series. You're asked questions based on the way the series is going. Everybody assumes the way it's going to end. I've been on every side of what you think is going to happen, and the opposite has happened. And that's what happens in, you think about it. Kershaw goes down. Oh, no. No, it's not an oh, no. It would be an oh, no if he was out of the series completely. He's not, as we know of. And then you potentially could go down 2-0 if you're the Dodgers and you're the favorites.
That is on a line into left, into the corner. Fair ball by Markakis. Pollock gets it back in, a one-out double.
But if you're in their dugout and Dave Roberts is going to make a move, so we'll finish this later. I broke my favorite pen. Darn it.
Oh. Well, this was a bullet into left by Markakis. Floro is finished. And with Pache coming up, pitching change yet again for the Dodgers, who trail by 6. The Fox Sports app. Kyle Wright, Julio Urias. Right now, as McGee takes over, we saw him pitch in last night's game. Jake went 2/3 of an inning, allowed the home run by Albies. He's got to keep this game right here if the Dodgers really want any chance of coming back in this. It's 6-0, a runner at second, only one out. Pache fooled completely. Strike 2. Christian with an RBI double, his last time in a run scored. Markakis hit the double to chase Floro. Oh, 2 pitch. He went around, and that is out number 2.
But my point is, Dave Roberts and his club, this is not, they don't want to be down 2-0, right? Still 4 innings, 4 bats to go, but they understand the process, and the process is they've got a really good team with a lot of arms left. And you just got to get over the questionings that you're going to get and the mental kind of teeter-totter that you play on. Series can switch in an inning, in a moment, in a play, and obviously in a performance.
Acuna takes a ball up, and you think about who's going tomorrow night for the Dodgers. Julio Urias has been at times unhittable this postseason. He's been so good coming out of the bullpen. He is just figuring it out. His stuff is electric, and he'll take on Kyle Wright, who is really good for the Atlanta Braves.
Yes, he is. And I've always said, experience doesn't mean anything until you put yourself in a situation to impose your experience on the other team. What I mean by that is you can't go through a game and only have 1 hit and think that the young pitchers are going to be unnerved by that. You got to create that kind of experience that you've been through everything, runners on base, making the other team make the mistakes. And so far, the Dodgers offense has not gotten on track. They've drawn their walks, but they haven't gotten enough hits, simply put.
The other piece of the puzzle, and we've talked about this a couple of times, as Acuna has the count in his favor now, 2-1. After tomorrow, Brian Snitker is unsure who will get the ball at this point. He has to see how the next couple of games go, this one and tomorrow in game 4. They have 3 starters. That's
right.
it. And game 5.
Correct. Yeah, it could be, a slew of different people. And at that point, he's open. Who cares? I might be up 3-0, right? You use the situation. That's why they got to adjust on the fly. The Braves do. The Dodgers do not. And the setback by Kershaw, certainly you would like to have Kershaw pitching tonight and then possibly a game 7, but You just need him pitching, period. Whenever that's the best case for him to be as healthy as he needs to be, that's what it has to be.
Dodgers are hoping that's game 4 on Thursday. Here's a 2-2 now to Ronald Acuna Jr. That's strike 3 as Acuna was frozen. Good work by Jake McGee and Dylan Floro. 6-0. Wow. Oh, 6-0 after 5.5 in game 2. Heartburn. Hit and Run, presented by MLB Network, is Major League Baseball's free skills competition for boys and girls ages 7 to 14. Sign up now to host a free competition in your local community at pitchhitrun.com. Bottom of the 6th inning. 6-0 lead for Atlanta. Back to work is Matzik. Heart of the lineup for the Dodgers: Muncy, Smith, Bellinger.
Okay, Joe, I got some information on that hot dog.
That we showed going to break.
It's called the Boomstick hot dog, named after Nelson Cruz. You know how much it weighs?
2 pounds.
3 pounds. Very good.
Check swing. He went 2-1.
Compliments of C.J. Nikowski, who of course works here in these beautiful stadium, brand new stadium of the Rangers.
Has CJ ever knocked one of those down?
As a matter of fact, no.
That's ball 3. This guy dressed like a hot dog. You're on TV. Hey, how are you? Good. Nice to see you. Well done. 3-1 pitch here is grounded to the right side. Albies gets the out one way. Well, we came in talking about how great the Dodgers have been, 8 straight division titles, and what they did in this shortened regular season. The run differential, best in baseball. They're -10 in this LCS. The runs per game, best in baseball. They've scored 1 run so far total. 118 home runs, best in baseball. They've hit 1 in this LCS, only 3 this postseason. And the average with runners in scoring position, 2nd best in baseball. They're hitless so far. So until that changes, until these guys that have been so good in this lineup this season start hitting, all the matchups and everything else going on the other side of the ball really don't matter.
Yeah, and you got to credit the other side. The Braves have done a good job executing their game plan. In the previous series, the Padres tried to make it miserable.
That is a base hit into left center field off the bat of Will Smith. 1 on, 1 out. First hit of this LCS for Will.
Basically, in a regular season game, if you have a 3-game series against, let's just say, the Padres, they're not going to throw 25 pitchers against you in 3 games. Well, that's what they did in this postseason because of some injuries. So the hitters are seeing a different pitcher. If you have 5 at bats, you might see 5 different pitchers. And in this postseason, of course, the 7 games, if it goes that far, you want to see as many of those relievers as you can to get the best looks you can for the future of those games. And the Dodgers are hoping to get some, if nothing else, to get their offense ticking here in the next 3 or 4 innings to feel good about tomorrow.
95 at the knees to Cody Bellinger. Left-hander is Alex Wood getting ready for the Dodgers, and now there is action for the Braves in their pen.
You just don't, you take more chances in the regular season. That's why numbers are going to be a little inflated and a little bit more lopsided, because you could never play the postseason, the regular season, like teams can play the postseason. You know, starter goes 3 or starter goes 4, mix and match from the rest of the way.
Darren O'Day getting loose. Dangerous pitch, fouled straight back. You know, Matzik talked about his comeback story, being a first-round pick and a couple different stints in independent ball. You know, he could end up walking away out of game 2 with a win.
He very well could. When I look back in the first 6 innings or so, it's really only been like 3 mistake pitches by the Braves. So it wasn't like the Dodgers have had a bunch of opportunities to do damage.
That is strike 3 on Bellinger, and he is really struggling. 6 for 26 this postseason, the 1 home run, 0 for 7 in this LCS.
And he's had a hard time staying off of this pitch. He's a tall batter that unwinds, right? And he tries to pull his hands in, but that's a long ways to go on top of the plate right there. And so if pitchers keep throwing the ball up there, it is going to be a tough sledding for Cody, who, you know, MVP last year.
Pollock now with 1 on 2 out. The win will be awarded at the discretion of the official scorer, and right now could very well be Tyler Matzik, which would be some achievement for a guy who has just hung in there. And he said, I just didn't want to be the guy that quit. I wanted to say when I'm older that I gave it everything I had trying to get back to the big leagues, and here he is. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it is. Don't see many stories like that. Have him turn it around like that. You know, and all the numbers we get way too many numbers, way too many papers, kind of sifting through. This was interesting to me. The Dodgers played 13 games against teams over 500 this year. Think about that. And a lot of it has to do with the divisional schedule, right? They were 8-5 in those 13 games. The Braves played 21. They were 12-9. The Rays were 21-9, which speaks to their year, of course, with the schedule they had. The Dodgers 35-12 against teams sub 500.
Here's one hit on a rope, but right at Pache, and you can see him and his ability to glide around in center. 2 scoreless put up by Tyler Matzik. Freddie Freeman will lead it off. The red hot Freddie Freeman for the Braves. Freeman, tried and true. Last night went deep for the first run of the game in game 1. And tonight, the 2-run shot in the 4th inning, an RBI single in the 5th. Doing his thing, 3 out of 7 in this LCS, and tried to jump on the first offering from Alex Wood, the new pitcher for the Dodgers.
Alex Wood and Freddie spent time together, former teammates.
Freddie's also a former teammate with Chipper Jones. You are a former teammate with Chipper Jones. They honored Chipper Jones with a T-shirt back in 2012 that Freddie still wears, like my daughter's good luck blanket that she has slept with since she was a little kid.
It's barely hanging on.
I mean, it is barely hanging on under that uniform top for Freeman.
Back in the day, whenever we would see a guy like that, we would find him in kangaroo court, and if that didn't work, we'd have a ceremonial burning of the shirt.
Oh, you would just take matters into your own hands.
Take it and burn it, and inevitably they'd come pound that thing out and still try to wear it.
Well, that was a good pitch. Called a ball outside, and the count is full. Wood brings it, and a ground ball to the right side. Muncy to the bag. Tom Verducci. It is barely hanging on.
Well, Joe, baseball players are not superstitious. No way, right? Well, that shirt you're talking about, he wore it that day in September of 2012. He has worn this underneath his uniform every game since then. I'm talking spring training, regular season, postseason. I mean, it looks like he was attacked by a bear on his way to the ballpark. Freddie said it's in such bad shape, he decided on this trip to pack a second one just in case it doesn't make it through. And obviously, the good luck is following him here in the NLCS, his first NLCS. But As I mentioned, ball players, no, they're not superstitious.
Well, my question is, does he hand wash it? How's it make it through the spin cycle?
Yeah. Does he wash it at this point?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, aren't you kind of taking the life of that T-shirt into your own hands? That's the inquiring minds want to know. Maybe one of our two guys down there can find out. That is into shallow left, and what a beautiful catch by Seager. He made that look so easy. And that's out number 2 to rob Marcelo Zuna of a little flare hit to left.
So unassuming. Probably doesn't say 5 words. But I could pay to watch Corey Seager play. First met him about 4 or 5 years ago. You know how you see a Labrador and you go, oh, look at those paws. This is going to be a big dog. You shake his hand and you go, wow. I mean, he's just so strong and plays the position like he's not 6'5".
Yeah, he's kind of been your guy from the start, and I don't blame you. He is fun to watch, and he's had a heck of a year. That's over the inside corner.
I think he stole all the food at the dinner table between him and his brother. I mean, his brother's half his size.
I know Kenny has more on Seager if we get the chance. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that is just outside. Kenny, he's been a man on a mission, huh?
Well, one Dodger coach, Joe, told me earlier this season that he is a man on a mission, and the reason was, in his mind, the trade talk that was surrounding the Dodgers last year with Francisco Lindor last offseason. You remember, the Dodgers were talking about trading for Lindor before they got Mookie Betts. Now, they ended up much better off in the equation. If you look at it now, it's Mookie Betts and Corey Seager versus Alex Verdugo and Francisco Lindor. But Seager definitely has turned it around since that Tommy John surgery. Back in the 2018-19 offseason, rehabilitating from that surgery, he couldn't really do much other than rehab. Last offseason, he could, and he took that training that he did into the shutdown after the game did stop in March, and he kept getting stronger, and he says the shutdown actually helped him because he was able to work even more on his body.
Power has followed. He's been an exit velocity king, if you worry about that statistic, as Albies swings through strike 1 after the walk to d'Arnaud. Wood is ready with another, and that's strike 2. You know what bat Ozzie Albies used last night?
Brian McCann, huh?
A Brian McCann bat.
Big shout out to Brian, by the way. Club championship, he got his first hole in 1.
Did he? I texted Brian before the game. I said, is that all he's got of yours? He said, I know he's not using your pants.
I think so.
You get a chance to meet Ozzie, at least I did. You're more familiar with these guys than us national guys, and met him at the All-Star game a couple of years ago. You just can't find somebody that's got a smile on his face any more than Ozzie Albies.
Yeah, him and Lindor, right?
Yeah.
You know, Lindor is always playing the game with flair and fun, and
runner at first after the walk, 2 out.
Ball, no, did he go?
Hey, come on. Check swing. On ball 1 in the dirt by Wood. Wood is the 5th pitcher of the night. They haven't had to use any of their biggest guns. We haven't seen Kelly yet. Talked about Jansen last night, some of his struggles. That's up and away. Dustin May worked last night. According to manager Dave Roberts, he will make a start later in this series. Gratterall they haven't had to go with. And they're planning on starting Julio Urias against Kyle Wright in Game 3 tomorrow. That's a foul ball. Hey, don't forget to download the Fox Sports Samsung 5G View app for an all-new immersive fan experience. Available exclusively on 5G-enabled Android devices. Albies with a sac fly his last time up. He hit a rocket out to center. Here's one up the middle. Seager to his left. Did not get it to first in time as Albies beat it. And it's 2 on with 2 out.
Well, Travis d'Arnaud made this play much more difficult for Seager. Watch Seager look to second. He looks to second to see if he's going to throw, but d'Arnaud kind of got there and never assumed anything was happening. Of course, the speed right there of Albies.
I mean, he beat that easily. Second hit of the ball game for Albies, and now a chance for more runs. Here's Dansby Swanson, takes outside, ball 1. Swanson not in on the fun tonight. He's had 3 at bats. He's fly to center, grounded out, and struck out. That's in the air to right. Long run on the line, fair ball. And it takes a bounce up into the seats for a ground rule double. Another run on the board. It's 7-0 Atlanta here in the 7th. Betts did all he could, just could not get there.
Yeah, Betts was flying, but this ball kept fading away from him. And right about there, you thought he might get it. And you see it right outside the stretched arm and glove.
RBI double for Swanson, and Austin Riley is being given the intentional pass.
You know, you talked about exit velocity, and we're getting closer to getting a composite stat that I think is going to tell the value of a hitter. You know, we fall in love with exit velocity and like the high end of it, but we don't fill in the blank, meaning, okay, a guy's hit one at 118, 119, but how many strikeouts did he have during that year? I'd like to see the average exit velocity come into play where the strikeout is 0. And so it's not going to be sexy. It might be 48 for some guys or 58, but you'll get to understand that this game has hitters still like LeMahieu, like Betts, who just don't swing and miss. And they still have the power, and they still have the ability to get hits. And I think we'll start shifting that way to reward those guys more often than just the single exit velocity greatness.
Runners at second and third. They walked intentionally Austin Riley to load him up for Markakis. 1 ball, 1 strike. Every spot in the lineup has reached base for the Braves now, with the double by Swanson and the walk to Riley. Kolarek again, second time we've seen him up. One pitch. 93 from Wood. 1-2. '29-year-old lefty deals outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Came up with the Braves. Wood did in 2013. Second round pick by Atlanta back in 2012. Right to the big leagues the following year. He's been with the Dodgers, Cincinnati last year, now back with the Dodgers, and fouled by Markakis here to keep the count 2-2.
His mechanics are funky, and a lot of people think, you know, over time would he be able to continue to have those mechanics and be successful, and he really is, and those mechanics are unique to him. Tommy John, but 33% of the pitchers are having Tommy John, so that's not uncommon anymore.
Markakis is jammed and floats one into right for Betts. And the inning is over, but another run driven in by Dansby Swanson. 7-0. Bottom of the 7th rolls in game 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 7th inning stretch, led tonight by
Welcome back to the NLCS, presented by Camping World, as we continue from Arlington, Texas. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Darren O'Day takes over. Sidewinding right-hander with the bottom 2 in the lineup for the Dodgers. Jock Peterson, Chris Taylor, then back to the top, Mookie Betts. Second pitcher out of the pen for Atlanta tonight. They still have 31 guys left down there.
Yeah, the expanded rosters for understandably the reasons that the guys are playing under, the circumstances and the format.
Breaking ball drops in for a strike to Peterson, 0 for 1.
But the decisions clubs are making are pretty easy. It's going to the added version of pitchers and not the specialty kind of pinch run guy or a guy that can steal a base, speed guy. They're definitely loaded with arms.
There's one of those guys left down there, A.J. Minter. And that's outside. Bullpen of Dayton, Madzik, Minter, Smith, Green, Enoa, O'Day, Tomlin, Webb, Martin, Wilson, Melanson.
Tomlin could be one of those guys that game 4 or game 5, if Brian Snitker wants to throw out there, former starter.
High and tight to Peterson, 2-1. One run is scored against this Braves bullpen in 25 1/3 innings this postseason. 1. That is a foul ball. 2-2. 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play Little League next season. Every time you text Little League to 313131, T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. 2-2 the count. Peterson flips it down the line and left. It will get out of play. You hear that song of Little League Baseball, you have to think of Bad News Bears.
Oh, yeah. Classic. And you know what's classic right now is what the Braves got going on in their pitching. That is not a misprint. That is a ridiculous pace.
Teams have scored in just 4 of 64 innings in the postseason. While everybody wanted to dismiss because, well, you know, Cincinnati, Miami, Two teams that were a combined one game over 500. Now you're talking about the Dodgers, the top offensive team in baseball, and you can't dismiss what's happening here with the Braves pitching anymore.
No, it definitely can get contagious, right? Hitting's contagious, pitching can be contagious. Pass the baton on. You keep it going. And the goal is each time you're given the opportunity, do your part. But it can flip. Hitters can get hot.
Right side. Albies can't make the play. Peterson will be on. We'll see how it's called. The Dodgers just want the base runner to start the inning. Hit or error, we'll find out.
That's got to be a hit. I mean, he was playing deep. He hit the ball hard. This ball ate him up right there.
Yep. Took a funny hop.
Got to be a hit.
Came up and caught him right on the left wrist.
I'm writing it down in pen right now.
Okay.
Base hit.
Okay. And it is. First of the night for Jock, and just the third of the night for the Dodgers. It brings in Chris Taylor. Albies still checking out that wrist. That's a foul. Ozzie missed 4 weeks with a right wrist contusion. That ball came up and caught him on the left wrist.
He hit that ball hard to Jock.
Albies is fine, and looking in with Taylor digging back in. 0 for 2. Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, they went 4-0 this year in 19 games with the Braves. Spins it home, fouled back, 4 strike 2. Had a 1.10 ERA, the 6th lowest in the National League. The guy that missed the bulk of last year with a right forearm strain. He can still do it.
Oh, that's out.
Gives the illusion sometimes that ball rises, but it really doesn't. The angle, if he throws it, he can spin it and make it go both ways.
Two-two pitch now, and a base hit into left. Back-to-back hits for the first time tonight for the Dodgers, and they want to feel better about things. Jump back in it here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order, and Mookie Betts.
One just stayed in the middle, and like I said, there hasn't been too many mistakes the Braves pitchers have made, and the Dodgers haven't had many opportunities. It certainly feels good. If you're Chris Taylor, he's been struggling, and now Mookie Betts trying to pass the baton on and keep the action inning going if the Dodgers are going to crawl back in this right here.
Fooled him with that pitch.
Mookie definitely picks his spots to kind of jump the pitcher on the first one, and that was one of them. That was a tight, low slider.
Peterson and Taylor aboard with nobody out. Right at the upper part of the strike zone to run the count to 0-2. Seager, Turner will follow, and opportunity for the Dodgers here in the 7th. Ball 1. A 1-2 pitch and a strikeout for out number 1. And that's going to be it for Darren O'Day. Allows 2 hits, gets a strikeout, will leave with 2 runners on. Hey, baby. Corey Seager is coming up. Pitching change here in the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning continues here with 2 on and 1 out. Now 4 pitchers on the night for Atlanta as the lefty A.J. Minter is into the ballgame. Look at those numbers from the regular season. ERA under 1. This is up and away to Seager.
Kind of looking in the mirror of a right-handed Kimbrel, the way he sets up, and Minter. But he can rush it up there.
That ERA, the lowest in the National League among left-handed pitchers. He deals, and it's down and away, 2-0.
See, that's the difference in Corey Seager this year. He would have gone up there in years past, probably partly because of physical ailments, and he was trying to make something happen right away. As soon as the pitcher let go of the first pitch, he was swinging.
.20 pitch. 2-1 at a 97-mile-per-hour fastball from Minter. Seager tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. O'Day got Betts to try and slow what the Dodgers hope will be a big rally here in the 7th. Down 7-0 in game 2. Seager hits one in the air to left center. This ball is crunched at the wall. It's gone. Corey Seager puts the Dodgers on the board. It's 7-3. And there is life for Los Angeles here in game 2.
Exactly what they needed. Corey Seager has so much power in this big ballpark. He can go the other way. He can pull it. He got the count in his favor, swung through a 2-0 pitch, and then the 2-1. He did not miss.
Hit that one into the Atlanta bullpen. In left center, and now Turner jumps on the first delivery and pops it into right. Acuna there, 2 out.
I mean, that was outer third, and he knew it. I mean, he clicked it. Big, strong, powerful swing.
With 2 out, nobody on, 3 runs home. The batter is Muncy. Takes a strike. Big right-hander Chris Martin is getting loose for Atlanta in their bullpen. We're only in the 7th.
And see, that's what the Dodgers probably been talking in the dugout, like get some of their other guys in there. If we're going to do what we need to do and get closer, we're going to see those guys throughout the series, right? So that 3-run homer, if nothing else, changes the mindset of what Brian Snitker is going to do to close out this game.
As Brian, Walt Weiss, the bench coach, and Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, come together to try to figure out how to piece the last part of this game together. Muncy trying to keep this 7th inning alive. Hot. 2-2. Max has walked twice. That was against Ian Anderson, who went 4 to start this game. 1 hit. No runs, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Matzik for 2. O'Day for a 3rd of this inning, and now Minter. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out to end the inning, but damage is done by Seager. Shows his power the other way. A 3-run shot had to feel good for the Dodgers. On the scoreboard, down by 4 after 7 in game 2. Eighth inning now, Braves bat. Christian Pache, the number 9 hitter, the rookie center fielder, in the lineup after the injury last night to Adam Duvall. Swings through that pitch, strike 1. Pache, then Acuna, then Freeman. As Wood misses down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Came on the air talking about the rookies involved in the pitching matchup, and this rookie getting a chance to start. An RBI double and a run scored in that big 4-run 5th as he pops out here to start the 8th. Well, Ian Anderson, second pitcher in postseason history with 4+ innings pitched and no earned runs in each of his first 3 postseason appearances, on a short list with Christy Mathewson back in 1905. And Christian Pache, 6th center fielder, 21 or younger, with an RBI in the LCS or World Series all time. And let's see, he's on a list with DiMaggio, Mantle, Andrew Jones, Willie Mays. That's a nice night at the Old Yard.
Is that it?
Those are the biggest. Down and in, and it was Kenny Rosenthal who said the future is now for the guy that they believe could be in their outfield as early as next year on a regular basis, Pache. Acuna doesn't have any hits, but he's walked twice, scored twice. 1-2 from Alex Wood.
I got to be honest, when Acuna broke in and he was doing his thing, the trend of batting him leadoff, I didn't see it. The damage he could do in the 3 spot, but he has proven in the leadoff spot, besides checking in the first at bat with a homer and putting a point on the board, what he can do on the bases. See, he's got that combination of power speed that you talked about.
That's strike 3 as a 91-mile-an-hour pitch from Wood sneaks in there for out number 2. The National League Championship Series sponsored by Hankook Tires. Never halfway. By Allstate and Taco Bell.
And my point with like the Mike Trouts of the world, when you still have the capability to cause problems on the bases and at the plate, then that leadoff spot can be filled with the prototypical power guy, right, that you put up there. Man, he can run and he can make pitchers.
That hits Freeman. The Braves fans in attendance don't like it. And we'll get a pitching change because of it. As the inning continues after the strikeout of Acuna. Wood is finished after he got Freeman off the right elbow. So Wood is finished here in the 8th. Back to the bullpen go the Dodgers in game 2. The right elbow of Freddie Freeman. We will give you our dynamic plays of the game presented by Hankook Tire. The play in the first inning, keep his foot on the bag, and then the first runs of the ball game. A 2-run shot in the 4th. Braves again getting on the scoreboard first, as they have in all 7 postseason games so far, and that arm is still hurting with Freddie Freeman over at first. They looked at it for a while.
Yeah, it catches you in the one spot where you just lose feeling in your hand. It was a changeup. He wasn't trying to hit Freddie Freeman. The changeup just got to get away, and it caught him right on the bone of the elbow. And you just can't explain how toothache type pain.
Marcell Ozuna deals with Joe Kelly. First time we've seen him in this LCS, and the count 0-2. Kelly was a part of the Red Sox and a big part of their win a couple of years ago when they won it all, clinching in game 5 out at Dodger Stadium. He pitched in all 5 games and was terrific. ERA of 0. Oh, 2 pitch is down.
Well, he throws 100, but you wouldn't know about it because he's discovered this power breaking ball, and the release point tonight on the power breaking ball looks a little better than it was when he came in against the Padres. Spiked a bunch of them, but he could throw 99 to 100 miles an hour. But you can run a streak with this guy either way, and the Dodgers are hoping that they find a streak of swing and miss stuff.
Here's one down toward the end of the bat into left field, and Pollock comes in to grab it to end the inning. And that will send game 2 into the bottom of the 8th. 7-3 Atlanta. Well, the Braves and their fans are hopeful that Freddie Freeman will be able to shake off the pain. He went into the dugout at the end of the top of this inning, got looked at again. Looked like for a moment he might come out of the ball game. Instead, he's back out there, threw the ball once, didn't look all that great, just trying to regain feeling after getting hit on that right elbow a moment ago.
He had surgery on that right elbow, so I'm sure there's some nerve endings that didn't feel good after that changeup squared him up in the perfect spot.
Chris Martin takes over. It's gone Anderson, Matzik, O'Day, Minter, now Martin. The only runs against O'Day and Minter. Martin worked in last night's game. Went 1 perfect inning with a strikeout, and he deals with Will Smith here in the count 0-2. in the bottom of the 8th in a 7-3 ball game.
Big old 6'8" coming at you downhill. See, the numbers were nasty on the year, and hoping to continue that in the postseason run.
That keeps the count 0-2. The Pirates did something cool today. This is the 60th anniversary of the Bill Mazeroski home run to win Game 7 over the Yankees in the World Series. Maz, 84 years old, 8-time Gold Glove Award winner, a Hall of Famer, went in 2001, hit the game-winning home run, and they have a group of Pirates fans called the Game 7 Gang. And they gather at the wall, that left field wall, in what was Forbes Field, the only piece still standing, and they listen to a rebroadcast of the game. So the Pirates opened up PNC Park today. About 20 to 30 people sat out in right center field, reminisced and listened to a rebroadcast of the game. As a strikeout starts the bottom of the 8th. And Will Smith is 1 for 4 on the night. Bring in Cody Bellinger. Jim Trudinich, their terrific PR director. Probably shorting him on his full title with the Pirates. Long time, great company man with Pittsburgh, sent along that note. Bellinger is 0 for 3, 0 for 7 in this LCS.
See, that first move by Bellinger makes it look like he's jumpy. Well, it's kind of his mechanism that unwinds that long swing, and when pitchers keep throwing the ball up, it's harder for him to make the transition. See how the first move in the barrel of the bat goes to a place where he likes to hit down. It's actually a better pitch for him. He's top of the zone, is going to struggle.
Gets under this, skies it on the infield left side. Swanson. And with 2 down, Pollock coming up. A quick word from Apple.
Don't want to miss a game during the postseason? Hey Siri, show me postseason baseball schedules.
Talk about Bill Mazeroski in the position of second base, and it makes you think of the passing of our friend and the Hall of Famer, the legendary Joe Morgan, who passed away at the age of 77 on Sunday. And he was really the key that got the Big Red Machine started. 2-time MVP, 10-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glove Award winner. He did everything. And then when he left the game as a player, actually got into this business and was a terrific analyst for a long time, around 20 years at ESPN with the great John Miller. And he is on a list of Hall of Famers who have passed. And the game has lost some great men this year. Base hit here by Pollock. His second hit of this LCS. Started back with Al Kaline in April at the age of 85, and then it's been a recent stretch here of loss after loss after loss. Inning continues for Jock Peterson, who has a hit, been on base twice.
See the difference between Jock and even Bellinger right now. Jock is a free swinger as well, but he finds the barrel of the bat at times with high velocity. His mechanics are different. Now he'll swing and miss and obviously won't hit for high average with the way that his approach is, but they're looking for him to run into some power like he has in the postseason.
He flies one into right center field, back near the track. Pache. And the first 8 innings are in the books in game 2. 7-3, Atlanta on top here tonight.
In support of the
Ninth inning of game 2. Braves on top by 4. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Atlanta. Travis d'Arnaud will lead it off. He is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, one of which produced a run for an RBI and a run scored. Tried to hold up, could not. Strike 1. New pitcher is a left-hander, Adam Kolarek.
Yeah, he's tough, and ability to get right-handers and left-handers out, even with that delivery. But you can imagine what he's like against lefties.
No fun. Nothing in 2.
Just got word that that guy just finished that hot dog.
Is that so?
Yeah, he finished it. I know you were wondering, you were looking, and put you at ease.
Well, it will be a good time for wherever that seat was, wherever that guy was, wherever that hot dog was, for our next little quick commercial. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Are you teasing a commercial?
I think I just did. Might be the first time. That's what happens in a 7-3 game. Strikeout to start the 9th inning. Here you go. Quick word from Lysol.
Major League Baseball is stepping up to the plate with Lysol to help protect the players chasing postseason dreams. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
Well,
good tease or no?
You were on point. And speaking of being on point, Dodger fans would like this stat. If they lose this game, that'll be the 5th time this season they've lost 2 in a row. You know what they haven't done? They haven't lost 3 in a row.
They will have Julio Urias on the mound tomorrow evening against Kyle Wright. And the Dodgers will be the visiting team.
Ball that's out.
2-0 the count on Albies. Had a nice night. Homered last night. He's got 2 singles and a sac fly tonight. And his sac fly came with the bases loaded. It was loud into straightaway center field that Cody Bellinger made a nice play on. Went up to grab for the out. Hot. 2-1.
Tomlin warming up looks more like a bullpen session.
Albies shoots one into left center field. Watch out, Tomlin. It's coming your way.
That's twice.
That's Melanson. He's caught 2 in 2 games. And Albies has hit 2 in 2 games.
That's amazing. They're going to have him up a lot more often now.
What a night for Ozzie Albies. He's made it 8-3 with his 2nd RBI of the night and his 2nd home run of this NLCS.
Well, I know he's got more home runs left-handed. That's because he faces more right-handers. But he's got a lot more power for me from the right-handed side of the plate against left-handers. And he just showed it off again.
I mean, that was Melanson that caught it last night, right?
It was. He didn't even have to move. He was standing on the mound. This one he ran for it.
Tonight's was a better catch. Did you ever catch a home run warming up in the bullpen?
I don't think so.
And Mark Melanson's done it in back-to-back games. 0-1 pitch here to Swanson is fouled away. 0-2 the count.
I'm going to be honest. I wasn't down there a lot. I couldn't.
You picked your spots.
Yeah, I picked my spots when I would head down there. I had a hard time just sitting there. I have a hard time just sitting here, as you know.
Oh, I know. I know. You pace this back of the booth like you're waiting for a jury to come back in. 1-2 the count. Swanson 1 for 4 tonight. Albies is showing all he's got. Swanson into right center field. That ball's down 2 hops, picked up by Bellinger. I mean, this has got to be the first time we've ever done this replay sequence in the history of MLB on Fox, which started in '96. Melanson heads up.
I mean, he just didn't even have to move.
And tonight he had to go get it. It's good to his left. He's caught more home runs than he's allowed this year.
That would be a good stat.
He went from being on the mound to catching a home run to sitting down.
Yeah, the score allowed him to do that. Typically, you're never going to let a game of this magnitude where it's 4 runs or less, your closer's going to be in. But even with the 3-batter minimum, looks like Tomlin will go in and try to finish it off, and if any trouble.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. Austin Riley takes a strike, 2-1.
Melanson will get back up.
The home run last night came in a 1-1 game leading off the 9th. Looking for his first hit tonight. Takes a strike here, and the count evens at 2. Swanson at first, 1 out. And Riley got under that into center. Bellinger over to his right. Wide throw, 2 down. The MLB app is the one place to get everything for your favorite team's chase to the pennant, including video highlights, pitch tracking, and much more. Download the MLB app today for the postseason in your pocket. Here is Markakis.
When we do all these games, I usually forget the date, but I can't forget the date today. So a shout out to my sister, birthday. She's the athlete in the family. Bernadette, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, she is the athlete.
There's some athletic genes in that family. I know that. That drives Markakis off the plate. Was your sister in on the accordion fun?
No. No.
For those of you who don't know, and there's about 3 who don't know by now, that John grew up playing the accordion.
That's where I got my timing. Discipline.
Your overall upper body strength holding that thing up. There's a strike from Kolarek, and Markakis in the hole, 1-2. So now the shift on the infield as Seager's left by himself to the left of second base. As we look at it, Turner on the other side. Talked about it last night that Markakis has the most active games without getting to the World Series. Second time he's been in the LCS. First time since 2014 when he was with the Orioles. Been over 2,100 games, and he has yet to get to the Fall Classic. That's a base hit to left. And the inning will continue for Pache.
I'm sure Nick will tell you that feels a little bit better. Overmatched the first game and checked in for 2 hits.
Well, in that quest to win a pennant, if the Braves hang on, they will be halfway there in this LCS. It takes 4 to get there. Arias and Wright tomorrow. Game 4, the Dodgers hope Kershaw. And undetermined for Atlanta. Undetermined for Atlanta in Game 5. That's where you could see Dustin May. Game 6 would be Buehler. So as you said earlier, it doesn't take much to flip the script, change the narrative, and Dodgers are still lined up pretty well, but so far the first 2 games have been dominated by Atlanta. Check swing, Pache went around.
Well, good news, bad news is, you know, typically when you're going good, you don't want a day off in between the series, and there's no days off. So you can feel good if you're going good. At the same time, you know that every day that you get to play, if you're the Dodgers, you get to utilize your strength that really work out in your favor over the regular season, because that's how the regular season is played. There aren't many days off. You got to use every one of your pitchers. I promise you that Dave Roberts won't show one sense of uh-oh or panic, and he will lead his team tomorrow with the best approach that they can have to win a baseball game, and that's what he'll say. We just got to win one and go from there.
That's outside, ball 1 to Pache. So Kolarek now is being forced to work. This will be 26 pitches at least in this 1 inning. He's allowed 2 singles and a home run, 1 strikeout. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 the count.
That is a professional beard, I just got to say.
When did you shift from the mustache to the goatee?
Quickly. As soon as I could.
Those old pictures of you, I see all I see.
Yeah, it's scary.
Kolarek is just trying to figure out somehow, some way to end this top of the 9th, keep it a 5-run game. The Dodgers in the bottom of the inning. Taylor, Betts, Seager. Seager with the only RBIs tonight for the Dodgers, a 3-run shot in the 7th. Left side, charging it, getting that little short hop is Turner, and the inning is over. So the swing by Albies. The reaction of the bullpen after the catch by Melanson. Braves are having fun really since the start. Last night, tonight, they lead game 2 by 5. Bottom of the 9th inning, game number 2. Braves won it last night with that outburst. 4 runs in the 9th inning, a final of 5-1. They lead it tonight 8-3, and they hand the ball to Josh Tomlin. His numbers from the regular season: 5 starts, 17 appearances overall. Been in the big leagues for just over 10 years. First pitch missed, and now that's in for strike number 1 to Chris Taylor, 1 for 3.
He's one of those guys not afraid to pitch with the stuff that he has, right? It's not overpowering. He'll cut it, he'll spin it, he'll change speeds, but he's a strike thrower. Pitches with a lot of confidence.
Zips that one outside, 2-1. First got to the big leagues with Cleveland. In his second year with Atlanta, Taylor Tried to hold up, could not. 2-2. Six days away from turning 36. Josh Tomlin, his 2-2 pitch is just outside, maybe a little low. Full count. Swing and a miss to start the inning. Out number 1. Tomlin gets the leadoff man as Taylor swung right through it.
He survived in this game, has Tomlin. I'm not so sure he would be given a lot of chances if he was starting in this game, meaning his career, because he doesn't throw the high velocity. But he played with guys who believe their stuff is as nasty. If you believe it and you can execute, you can go a long ways in this game and play a long time.
Here's Betts, hitless tonight, takes a strike from Tomlin. He's pitching in his second LCS. It's part of the 2016 Cleveland Indians. Made 2 starts in the 2016 World Series against the Cubs. Went 0-1.
But there's no doubt it's harder to break into this game if you don't have certain qualities that the numbers speak to.
0-2 on Betts. Outside. Betts, his first 2 plate appearances, drew walk. Fly to center in the 5th and struck out with a couple on in the 7th. That is ripped into left field, a 1-out base hit. Markakis gets it back in. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text PLAY to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. First hit of this LCS for Mookie. And it brings in Seager. Fouled away, strike 1. Dodgers, if they are to go on to lose tonight, be down 2-0. They've been down 2-0 in a best-of-7 series in the postseason 10 times. They've come back to win 3 times since 2013. They've been in that predicament twice and have not been able to come back. Each year is different. That is a fair ball down the right field line. It hits that little fence and just sticks. Betts is going to come all the way around to score on the RBI double by Seager, who's driven in all 4 runs tonight. It's 8-4 here in the 9th.
That side of each part of the field is where you can get some weird bounces. The infielders in this park are going to have to stay really active. You see the ball gets by Freeman. He had no chance with that, how hard that was hit. But if you've got speed, these are the kind of things that can happen. That ball just sits there until somebody can go get it.
And somebody was Acuna, and by the time he got to it and got it back into the infield, Betts had circled from first. Now Turner in a 4-run game takes ball 1 from Tomlin, and there is action for Atlanta in their bullpen. Melanson. He wants to be finished catching home runs right now.
Yeah.
There's a strike. Here's a 1-1 to Turner, who's 1 for 4 at the plate. Scooped up.
Well, we talked about the keys of the game and what I thought each team had to do, and the Braves did exactly that. Keep the pressure on. You see the 10 hits, 7 walks, early lead. Of course, they scored the first 7. And the Dodgers leadoff hitters are still having trouble getting on base, and they had a hard time against the changeup, of course, off of Ian Anderson. So still time, still trying to rally, but they're going to have to be a little bit better in those categories.
Check swing foul, 2-2 now on Turner.
That leadoff hitter that got on was the very first one of the game, and since then haven't been able to create that instant pressure that happens in the postseason when you get the leadoff runner on. It's amazing the difference between a regular season game and a postseason game. If this place were packed, they'd tell you the difference because they're more locked into those situations.
2-2 now, and a strikeout for out number 2. It goes without saying, but that's what we specialize in around here, saying things that go without saying, that the Atlanta Braves, with these consecutive games, would love to get through this one without having to bring Melancon into the ball game for the 2nd straight night.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's up to Tomlin, and at the moment, Max Muncy.
I'm sure Brian Snitker and his coaching staff are doing the math right now. Let's see, man on second, guy at the plate. Most it can be is 8-6. You find yourself counting those kind of runs when you're in the last inning. I know closers do that.
Need 2 more base runners to have a chance. The Dodgers do. The count's gone to 2-0 on Muncy, with Will Smith on deck. And then you've got Cody Bellinger. So
yeah, it's the last hitter he's going to face, and he either gets him out or Melancon comes in the game.
Strikeout, a single, an RBI double, a strikeout. Tomlin behind on the count, 2-0 here. Muncy hits one a ton. That is gone. This is an 8-6 ball game. Muncy touches one off here in the ninth.
Yeah, he threw it in the spot he doesn't miss. That's really what Max Muncy's all about. Inner third of the plate. When he's right, that's what happens. And he got his pitch and didn't miss it.
And a sleeping Giant starting to wake up here. The difference in the ball game now, the single runs by Atlanta in the 7th and in the top of this 9th inning. It's an 8-6 game, 2 out in the 9th. And Mark Melancon takes over, trying to get the save now. His regular season numbers up top, his postseason numbers that bottom line, and the Dodgers need 1 base runner now to have a chance.
Grinding it out. It's all, I tell you, that's all Dave asks of his team. Grind out at bats.
Will Smith trying to be the one to give Bellinger a chance. Takes a strike. Smith 1 for 4 tonight. Melancon brings it. Strike 2.
Melancon has such a feel for spin, like spin on a cutter, spin on a breaking ball.
Working in a hurry, Melancon brings it, and a ground ball, hard hit. Albies knocks it down, and safe. Hustling all the way and keeping this game alive is Will Smith. And that bobble means the tying run will come to the plate on the error by Ozzie Albies.
You got to give this to Will Smith. Watch when he gets out of the box. He does not assume anything. That hustle is exactly what you just said. Brings up the tying run.
And it's Cody Bellinger. Hitless, 0 for 8 in this LCS. He's got 1 postseason home run this year. Takes a strike. NL MVP. .47 home runs last year, 115 RBIs. Looking for that signature moment in the postseason in his young career. Is this it? That is driven into the corner. It takes a bounce up against the wall. Smith is going to come all the way around, digging for third. Bellinger, and the tying run is 90 feet away.
With the hustle and speed of Bellinger, he getting to third base puts a ton of pressure now on Melanson and d'Arnaud. High cutter, but didn't get high enough. And too much topspin to tie up the game, but they are 90 feet from the improbable, starting in about the 7th inning.
This game was 7-0 Atlanta in the 7th, then 7-3, 8-3, now 8-7. There's a moment for Cody Bellinger. And now it's up to A.J. Pollock. A hit tonight, a hit last night for Pollock. Strike 1.
Pressure on all of the infielders now. Riley playing way back. So that allows Bellinger to get a huge lead. And anything that gets away from the batter's box or bounces away, he's got a legitimate chance to score.
Where the infielders are deep. Hard hit, third baseman makes a play, and that's Austin Riley to end the night. What a game, what a finish. And Riley, the sure-handed third baseman who made a great defensive stop in the first, makes a sure-handed play in the 9th. And in a 4-hour, 12-minute game, the Atlanta Braves hang on to win this one 8-7.
Now, this wasn't a routine play, but he made it rather routine under the gun. And I know there's a lot of exhaling going on one side, but I'll tell you, in the other dugout, they know they fought it and they grinded it out, and Dave Roberts will let them know.
They came up 90 feet short with an almost incredible comeback from 7-0 to 7-3 to 8-3 to an 8-7 final. Matzik gets the win. Gonsolin suffers the loss. Melanson gets the save in a 4-hour, 12-minute game, and the Braves are up 2-0. Third National League team to get 7 straight wins to start a postseason. Good start to the NLCS for Atlanta. Kevin, guys, all yours.
Major League Baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers.